Yeah, baby. Wonder if all my bad decisions get accounted in the algorithms. No statistician could dissuade me from my bigger vision. I know my occupation's quite an unlikely place in this world to occupy and talk about upon a daily basis. Our information's predetermined by some biased business. We all in sermon to Silicon that push out lovely neighbors. I'm done with paper chasing, think I'm on to bigger banquets. This that full circle, new wave, energy on a Tuesday. Turn a blue day to a bright hue, yellow with a smooth A in hair. Extra fruit, the brand, you can't move me. The music is man, it's a con job, but this grand. Been blessed with a great hand amongst many that stank. And yeah, it took some hard work, but blind luck play a huge role. And if they say that it don't, when they feeding you fool's gold. And if I know one thing, the truth's home. Even if it's a tough thing to swallow, an even harder thing to hold and truly know without a doubt while on the globe. And even though that seems inherent, it ain't always so apparent. Dangle carrot, you ain't always gonna get it. But don't worry, it's a pretty February in a year with more to carry and more days is yet to come. Under the sun, taking the ferry to the city where the moment's extra pretty, like the people, like the idea that I keep inside my brain that isn't equal to the real world. All that stress ain't saving me fear though. I swear to God I'm trying. They pushing their demons down my esophagus, screaming the easy life, what I want always. Praise made up holidays, tell me that love is the answer just to boost this economy. Buy more, sell now, but I ain't following. I ain't a hollow man, I'm full of them fall winds. Take it all with a tall grin, and if you feel it, do it with me. And just sing what the song says. Take it all for what it is. It ain't all so big. So big, so big, so big. Take it all for what it is. It ain't all so big.
Hey y'all, it's me, SB.
Dearly beloved.
How y'all doing tonight? Listen, y'all, this little midweek hump day thing is becoming a regular for us. So listen, I am just so glad to be here. Y'all know we took another break on cruise season tonight, but like I said before, we just miss y'all so much. We feel as though we need to come and say hello and to see, how y'all doing. So again, we're not going to disappoint. We're here again tonight, and I got some of my co-hosts with me. We're going to bring them up in just a few moments. But tonight, we're talking about modern women despise being told no. Where we get this from? Oh, really? No, they don't, y'all. They 50-50 women. What are y'all talking about? They're willing to go half. They can't be. They cannot. No, not them. Not our ladies. Not the ladies I know. But anyway, we got some evidence. They despise being told no. And we're going to share it with y'all in just a little bit. But before we do that, I'm going to bring a few people up. We got somebody new tonight to this Wednesday night hump day collab, right? So let's bring up Humble Dad. Hey, hello, Humble Dad. How are you doing? And congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate you having me.
No problem. Thank you for being here last minute. We're doing this Wednesday night. We're normally on cruise season, but I'm so glad that you're here. We got an opportunity to work together, and I appreciate you very much. Next we have is that Ronan? Hello, Ron. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm good. About yourself?
Very, very good. Now, last but not least, of course, we have Ricky. Come on up here, Rick. Ricky.
They liars, bro. They liars.
Absolutely, they are liars. Listen, guys, how y'all feeling tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. How about you, Ronnie? You good?
I'm good. What's going on, Humble Dad?
I'm good.
HD. Ronnie was good.
Sure. How you feeling, SB?
You know what? I'm good, but I just can't believe these ladies that's willing to go 50-50. They don't like being told no. That don't make sense to me. We ain't gonna talk about it yet. Y'all just hold that thought. But before we get started, we got to say hello to a few people in the comment section because they have come here tonight. And I know it's probably a busy night out here in these YouTube streets. They're here with us, y'all. They could have been anywhere. And they'll probably go a couple other places tonight. But anyway, they decided to be with us for now. So we need to say hello to them and make sure that they know that we appreciate them. Bolo, what's going on, Bolo? Hit the like.
Hello.
Corey, what's going on? T-Shaw, it's good to see you. Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. What's up with you? It's good to see you. Fishing Too Fit. Ricky, shout out. Army Vet 420. Hello, sir. How are you doing? Dr. Steele. Princess, is this Princess? Yeah, Princess, hello. How are you? Good to see you. Tabiz, good to see you too. Have a good night here with us tonight. Y'all bringing them in here. Some of these names I've never seen before, so I know they're here for you. Look, Fishing Too Fit says, what's up, HD and Ronan? Sugar Bump, you know what? Sugar Bump, you know you our favorite. How you doing tonight? It's good to see you. Sugar Bump, you'll be everywhere. You know what? I don't know what I was looking at. It was just so not regular. And they talking about Sugar Bum. I said, what? It was way out the norm. I can't even remember what it was, but you'll be everywhere, Sugar Bum. So, girl, we're gonna have to start an award for the best troll. You're going to get it. I promise you.
That's an achievement.
That's an achievement. I mean, really, to keep it up. I mean, really, look, she stays in her posture. She stays in her posture. She never gives it up. Sean, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Wait a minute. Salam, you got some good news for us? Oh, hold on to it. Maybe we'll drop the link a little later. You get to come up and tell us what's going on. Oh, Beloved Rain, 44, I think. Yes. Hello, CBN. What's going on with you? All right, guys. So listen, Cartier, I like that. Hello, how are you? Smile. Yes, ma'am. Uh-oh, Salam, you baiting me right now. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't tell me it's some same birthday. Oh, you done met another woman. Oh my God. Oh, listen, just hold on. We might get to it. Listen, we got to make sure she ain't one of them, these modern women that tell you no. You got to be able to put your foot down sometime now. We got to check her out. Easy Money, what's going on with you? It's good to see you, sir. Glad you're here. So anyway, guys, listen. We was Humble Dad. Actually, you're the one. We get videos. Let me just say this. Appreciate you all for your videos, Mr. Gilbert, Christopher. Thank you all so much for your videos. But this particular one right here that we're talking about tonight actually came from Humble Dad. And Humble Dad, thank you so much for sending this video. But I need to know, what was your first reaction when you heard this video? Can you just give me a clue of what you might have said when you listened to that video?
Well, my first response was like, he couldn't have just did this in a row, right? Maybe he just kind of spot checked it, and he just got the ones that kind of look, I guess, a little modern, I would say. And then there was one that was like, no, I'm okay. So that's what my first initial thought. And then my second thought was like, who can I send this to?
We get some feedback from somewhere. That's some of that. That's you. Okay, go ahead. All right. So your second thought, yeah, it was you, but I don't hear it now.
Okay. Yeah, my second thought was, who can I send it to? You know, I have friends, whether they in this space or just family members, and I sent it to the people that I thought would be interested in talking about it.
Wow. So listen, thank you so much for sending it to us, because I was like knocked out when I saw it. Mr. Gilbert, you're gonna start this show off right. Thank you, sir, for your $10 super chat. Salute to everyone on the panel and their many years of marriage and putting in the work. Keep dropping that knowledge on us. Some of us are listening and taking notes. Thank you so much for that. We need that type of encouragement. Now, listen, Ekene, if I said your name wrong, forgive me, but thank you, sir, for being here. So let's see. Listen, when I first saw the video, I had to say, let me roll that back one more time. But I'm going to let everybody else in on what's going on. But before we get started, I'm going to talk about this for just a minute, because Ronan and Ricky will remember this. I think it was actually last Krew season that we had. It was a young lady on there, and she spoke about how her man needed to go out. And I said she was very, very, very feminine. and her man was needed to go out and he could get 15 jobs or ever how many jobs to take care of her. Y'all recall that young lady? Okay. And you know, I said at the time that I said she giving me side chick vibes. She the other woman. Y'all remember that, right? I'm assuming y'all probably shaking your heads. But anyway, I need y'all to remember her. And now Mr. Boss is gonna play this video and we're gonna jump right into it and go from there. But before we do that, do you all have anything that y'all want to talk about or mention before we get into it? No? All right, we good. All right, so Mr. Boss is gonna play the video. Oh, you okay.
Man should always make a way. I feel like I'm not gonna work my hands to the bones to provide. I'm not gonna work 16 to 20 hours a day or a week to provide for my family. You're the man. You have the penis. Go get a job. Get 3 jobs. My man has 2 jobs. Go get 7 jobs and 2 side hustles to buy me the things that I want because I'm a woman.
All right. So y'all remember that? Tumble Dad, I know you don't know nothing about that, but give me your thoughts on this one before we move on to the one that you actually sent us today. What do you think about that video and that young lady?
I mean, she's entitled to what it is that she wants, right? And if she has a man that's willing to do that for her, then that's going to be his problem. And so that's one woman that's taken off the market that other people don't have to worry about.
Oh, so you think she actually is a married woman? Or possibly.
Oh no, not necessarily. I'm not saying that she's married. Okay. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying whoever is dealing with her, you know what I'm saying. Hopefully he keeps her. You know what I'm saying? That won't be a problem for others. That's what I think.
All right. That young lady there, when we was watching that video, she was giving me the vibes as though she was the other woman. I felt like she could be possibly the other woman. And when we see this one that's coming up now. So I'm going to have Mr. Boss play this next video. And this is actually the topic of the day. You're going to see how, in my mind, I put this together. He could have possibly met this same young lady out on that corner, just like he met these girls and got the same response. But take a look at this one.
Deal with a married man that never tells you no, or your own man that tells you no 45% of the time.
No, I'm dealing with the married man. Nah, I take the married dude. I'm sorry.
I'm fucking with the married man.
Married nigga. I'm sorry. Tell me yes. Everything.
Oh, the married nigga. Yeah, give me him.
I will deal with my man that tell me no because I'm going to beat him the fuck up.
I'm taking the married guy because why am I with you? You keep saying no for.
I think I'm going to go with the married guy.
I don't like the word no, so.
A married man.
Married man.
The married man.
A married man. You're my little secret.
My own guy that tell me no 45% of the time.
A married man.
Do a married man because 9 times out of 10 we sharing these niggas anyway.
I mean, I guess I'm going to have to take the married man. Like,
why? I need to be told no sometimes. You can't always get what you want.
All right, guys. You heard it, right? I think we had 2 of them out there that had possibilities of being wives, only 2. The rest of the ladies said that they would definitely become the side chick in order to get what they want. I got to hear. Listen, ladies, if there are any ladies that are in the comment section that can defend their sisters right now, I need y'all to come on up, come up, and let us know what you think about the ladies and offering to be with somebody's husband, actually, so they can get what they want. I know what the men gonna say. I already know, but I need to hear from ladies because there was a whole lot of women, in my opinion. So, Ricky, what you think about this? 45%. The question was, would you rather be with a married man that tells you yes, or your own man that tells you no 45% of the time?
What's my take on the video?
Yeah, what do you think about that? This is the new thought process of a woman.
You want the truth or the lie?
Ronan, come on. I'm saying Ronan because no, listen, Ricky, you know you don't lie. Tell the truth.
The truth is all those women are marriageable.
Whoa. Okay, Ricky, go ahead. Let's get into it. Tell me how.
Because these are the very women that men are trying to convince that they're wives. Right? Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I need you to just chill out and ride with me for real quick, right? Men are constantly, we tell men there's good girls out in the world, right? There's good girls. Good women get scooped, right, HD? Right? Or wives get wived up. But the men still constantly have these complaints about the very women that we warn them to stay away from. Right? We give them a gang on this is what you should look for a woman. She should fall into your all the talking points. I'm sick of the talking points. Y'all know what we're talking about. Right? But they still move, plan, and move in the fear of these hoes. Because at the end of the day, these are the women they want to convince that, hey, you're wifely material. Hey, why you just can't do what I'm asking you to do? Why you just can't be the woman I need you to be for me? Instead of going to get a good girl. Right? The truth of the matter is that you're not going to get everything you want in the package that your eyes like. It's rare. It doesn't happen all the time. It's just the facts of the matter. But these young men, and I'm going to say modern young men, right? The new modern woman, right? They want it just like the girls want it, right? Ooh, I should be happy. Listen to what I'm saying. And when I say happy, I use it as the extreme because this is how they present it in the conversations, right? I should be happy no matter what. It's about me being happy. It's about this. It's about that, right? But they still, they say they want a good woman, but they still complaining about the hoes that they supposedly don't want. They want the hoes.
I see where you're going with this. That makes absolute sense.
So they're all manually, all of them trying to change a hoe into a housewife. That's what they want. They want to be able to say, hey, she was out in these streets. Now she my girl and she fall in line. When you know, y'all sit up here saying the same thing, right? A cheater can't never change, but y'all expect hoes to change. I'm lost. I'm confused. None of this stuff makes sense to me anymore. None of it. We in bizarro world.
Rick, I'm kind of with you a little bit on that too. Actually, I think it's at this point somewhat just talking points or somewhat entertainment or like wow moments just to see if someone's going to say to get attention. Actually, like is this going to go viral? I'm gonna tell you what you want to hear, but this is not really what I do. You proved that already. You've already proved, I think it was you. Yeah, you've already proved that what women say often is not what we actually accept, or what we say we want is often not what we accept. And I can agree with that too. Often we say we want God-fearing men, but we'll get the next dude that did whatever he wanted to do. But we say something and then we do another. So I am agreeing with you a lot on the fact that the bizarre world. I can get with that. But there's one thing about this though. I happen to believe in marriage, and I know marriage is real. And I do know that not everybody's playing the game, because I don't think it's a thing that everybody does. I think there are some people that are very sincere out there. And if we can actually speak to those who are, because like we said before, they're blending in so well now, you just don't know who.
The sincere ones don't need these conversations, SB. The real ones don't need this conversation.
So how do we speak to them?
To who?
The real, listen, you said the real ones don't need the conversation. I'm saying the influence is so strong, if we don't speak to the real ones about what is actually entertainment and not real, then you don't think there's a fear that those two will be influenced?
I believe the real ones already know what's what. I believe the real ones already know what's what.
I don't know about that one.
Look, I got a man that's the perfect example on this panel right now.
Sure. Tell me who that is.
Humble Dad.
Of course he knows.
Exactly. Right? Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
All right.
Humble Dad knows what a good woman is. He knows he's a good dude. Right? He wasn't out here playing in these streets. He went and found him a wife. He went and found him a wife. It didn't take me to convince him or anybody else to try to convince him that marriage is a good thing. He knows marriage is a good thing. Right? He knows what type of woman's a wifely woman. He knows which types that's not. Why men keep complaining about women they don't want? That don't make no sense. It makes no sense. I don't worry about, like, listen to what I'm saying. When I talk about men, when I talk about the stuff that I put out to y'all, I'm speaking from an honorable, responsible man standpoint, right? I don't y'all talking about them dudes don't apply to me. I don't care. They not part of my time. You see what I'm saying? That ain't even part of my psyche, right? So if y'all not worried about hoes, why is those the women y'all keep complaining about? When I tell you it's good girls out here, instead of saying, hey, you know what, I'm gonna go find me a good girl, the excuse to them is like, well, that's too hard, right? It's not a lot of them out here, right? That's too much work, right? Or what's even worse, they'll go back, you know, this what happened to me in the past. The last girl you chose. That's the girl you chose. Nobody want to be responsible for their actions. Everybody want to put it off on somebody else. These women are able to say what they want to say and move how they want to move because the men they deal with allow it. If no man ever dealt with them, if no man ever gave them any social attention, sexual attention, these things wouldn't be said. So it's men out here allowing this stuff that y'all give them the rope to hang y'all with. Because y'all know they ain't going to hang themselves. Like I said the other day on the video, I seen a video the other day. They asked 6 men and 6 women if it was a life or death situation and you had to save your partner, would you? Every man said yes. All the women said no.
Whoa, really?
Yes. So, like I said, we try to play like, and we try to put aside these rules like we don't understand the nature of women. You know what it is. You know what it is. Yeah, a woman to submit, but you got to put certain things in line for that to happen. That's why I keep telling these dudes, y'all not the man y'all think y'all are. Y'all not. Because if you did, you wouldn't even, these women wouldn't even be considered an option for you. These women they talk about that they have issues with, they're not options.
Okay, so Rick, I got a question right there. If the men are not the men that they think they are, and they can hear you respond to something like we just saw, and that it's an eye opener, you wouldn't want to have that discussion?
Me personally, no.
Not you personally. I'm saying, isn't that a discussion that needs to be had?
Right. It's a discussion that we have, but do they listen?
Okay. When we talk about men now, you're talking about men. I mean, y'all have to answer that question because I'm busily trying to
going
pull
with
out the women.
Again, I'm going with no because the results speak for themselves, right? Men continue to complain about the women they supposedly don't want. Why are you complaining about them if you don't want them? Don't deal with them. Don't deal with them.
So listen, Ricky, Trey says, what the is Ricky?
Who cares what Trey? He doesn't believe in marriage, so I don't care.
He said this is crazy to hear. So I want to hear from him what is crazy about hearing what you're saying, because this is what you're speaking to. The fact that he's not married. I don't know if you really want. Yeah, go ahead.
He just literally proved Ricky's
point. That's what I
was right. You
do it all the time, but then try to make it like I'm crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you are crazy, but it's okay, Ricky. You understand? The reason why you're crazy is because you're not. You've become not the norm, right? And that's what's unfortunate. I mean, they call me crazy as well, right? So what I see it is like this. I think it's important for us to talk to these young ladies and also kind of shed a light on that it actually exists, that there are women out here that are cool with being the side chick, right? And so therefore a young man can say, you know what, I can see what that looks like, right? Because Ricky, at the end of the day, right, we've already talked about that young men are not able to know what it is when they're seeing a wife. Like, they don't really know what to look for. Right. So what we can do is highlight the ones that they shouldn't be looking for. right? We can also talk to them about where you may find a suitable wife. You know what I'm saying? Most of these young ladies look like they was coming from the club or something like that. And so that's not really a good place to find a wife in my estimation. And so I would say that it's because I'm for marriage and I know the benefits of marriage and I know what that looks like from a generational standpoint, then and as a teacher, I know that you may not reach everybody, but you still need to be teaching the class. You know what I'm saying? If we just stop teaching the class, then who's learning, right? So I think it's kind of like how the scripture says, you know, some is going to fall on deaf ears, right? And some is going to fall on good soil. So it's just a matter, you still got to be teaching it, because if you teach it, then it's very possible that their mindset could change. And at the end of the day, it's always a heart posture, right? Their hearts are very evil and wicked to think that they would prefer a married man tell them yes all the time, as opposed to their own man that would literally go 50-50 with them. Right? That's what they said, that 45%. So you say that's what you said in the beginning. Here's a modern woman that wants to go 50-50, but then when you have the opportunity to go 50-50, you just said that you didn't want it. If we talk to these particular women,
well, if I tell you no, you're gonna go crazy on me. You're gonna beat me up, you know, or what have
that's
you.
what you said, right?
Yeah, it's contradicting. But do you even think that this is real? Because I'm having trouble thinking that this is actually real. And what I mean by real, do you really think a married man would entertain a woman as his side chick because she feels as though she's entitled, like you said, to everything? Do you think this is real? Because if so, it goes back to what Ricky is saying. You got these men over here that are actually doing this and causing this type of woman. Because
it was a hypothetical though, right? So as far as we talk about if it's actually happened, I'm sure that it does happen. But I don't know the information on it. But if you talk to me about my sphere of men that I know, and I know hundreds of married men, I'm unaware. I mean, because everything is probably done in secret, but I'm unaware of dudes that would be comfortable supporting another woman that's not his wife. You know?
Right. And it actually goes back to the video, the initial one, because she said a man needs to work 2 or 3 jobs in order to supply his woman with whatever she wants. So whether they're married, it's a hypothetical. If that's the mindset, and they're actually bringing these type of mindsets into their relationships, then that means it goes back to what Ricky said. Somebody's doing it. And that's, Ricky, is why I say we need, our men should always reach out to other guys and say, look, don't get fooled by whatever it is you getting fooled by, because this is ridiculous. This is not a real relationship. This is not a marriage. This is not even 50-50. It's not even 50-50. So again, Ronan, go ahead and let's give us your 2 cents on this, and we're going to keep this moving.
Just being in the dating market, you have to pay attention to mindset and attitude. Appearance is cool, but like I said, I always call certain people beautiful bums or retards for that specific reason. Because you get guys who either fear failure, but I think some guys are afraid of success. Because when you have that level of consistency, you're being relied upon. You have to stand and deliver. Some aren't built like that. Or some fear life, just like a lot of these women. They fear what life is like without their negative narrative. What will that change? What would I have to be? It's unfamiliar territory in most cases. So if there's a level, if there's disrespect there, I can't be there. That's how guys should carry it. So that's why I don't sit here and worry about circular talking points. I focus on life reference points. If this person can add value to it, then we can move forward. But if they don't, the best I give them is D in distance, and that's at best.
So are you currently dating?
Yes.
Okay. So have you met a woman that you feel as though may think this way?
I see some that have potential. They're cool. It's just too early to like really read it. Some already eliminated themselves, but there's some who lingering around like, okay, I can see where this goes, but some already know off top. No.
So you can see women right now that would be cool with being side chicks. Is that what you're saying?
There's something out there. I'm not looking to entertain that because I'm not looking at have the collateral damage that comes with that.
So how are you able to see that?
I've been through that.
Okay.
Wow. Well, there has to be, I'm going to call it a market for it, because we have this, what is it called? Not, what do they call it, y'all, when you have married to one husband, man has, we got the polygamy relationship and the
hood polygamy.
Hood polygamy. You got the hood polygamy relationships where they all are getting together and they doing what they want to do. So it's somewhat, they're entertaining that more. So that means that people are open-minded to that. And like the one lady said, these men are actually dating, we sharing them anyway. So if she feels polygamous, the relationship. So if they're sharing them anyway, then that's what they, polyamorous relationships, polygamous relationships, they're doing all of it. So if they're actually open-minded to it, what these ladies are saying is not far-fetched at all. Even though it was a hypothetical, that is exactly what they're willing to do.
And you notice how much they move the goalposts. So they're
What do you
not
mean?
committed to. Well, one thing is like, let's go 50-50. And next, no, it's like, no, I need a guy that needs 2 jobs, 3 side hustles. I'm not doing anything. So if you're not even committed to the lie you're standing on, I can't even take you seriously.
Well, it goes back to what Humble Dad said initially when he talked about being entitled. I'm trying to figure out, how did women become so entitled? Now, a couple of weeks ago, I blamed the Gen Xers for that, because in our generations and we raising our children, these millennials out here, we gave them everything. And it actually, I know, formed their minds to make them think that they can have everything. But Ricky brought me back to life. And he was like, when you get a certain age, you know right from wrong. So now what? Even though they want everything, they still know right from wrong. And every one of them should know that it's nothing right about, even hypothetically, nothing right about entertaining sleeping with somebody else's husband.
Well, here's a question I had asked. Like, how can a woman respect you if you can't stand up for, you can't stand up to her? How does she expect you to stand up for her?
Well, that would be the sisterhood. You have to ask somebody part of the sisterhood about that. Because they definitely stand up for each other, and then they will take your man all in the same week. All in the same week. They looking for, the ladies are telling you, those group of ladies with that hypothetical question are telling you that they're going to get whatever they want, and whoever have to lose, they're going to have to lose. And they don't care whether it's their best friend. I ain't going to go as far as says their mama, but you know what I'm saying. If mama got a younger boyfriend and he's attractive, he might have to be the one.
You include them too. Seen that too.
Yeah, we've seen that. So that's what that's what I want to talk about. I'm trying to figure out, because them Humble Dad said it. When did our women become so entitled? Ricky, you said if it's not us, how in the world is it okay to say hypothetically, I'm gonna be with somebody else's husband? That was like a big deal. You don't do that kind of stuff. When did we become so entitled? Y'all want me to answer? I have no idea.
My personal opinion, I think it happened. As an educational, it happened definitely in the education system. And that's just one place. But to be more specific, in the education system, I don't know if y'all remember when, this is not political or anything, but this is what happened. The No Child Left Behind scenario took place. Well, the No Child Left Behind, it sounds good in the title, that we're going to do whatever it takes to not leave a child behind educationally. However, what it really meant was that we're going to push them forward no matter what. So even if the kid is not doing anything in class, right, they're still going to be able to pass to the next level. Okay. So, and then not only that, they reduce the level of what it would take to pass to the next grade level. So, for example, in Texas, the math score is a 42 on the STAR test to pass, right? However, even if they don't get the 42, they're still going to the next grade level. So students, boys and girls, are entitled to think that they're going to get whatever it is that they, no matter what they do, they're going to be able to move forward, right? So you transition that over into relationships. Like, why are you telling me no?
A 42 sounds very low.
What's that?
A 42 sounds low.
Oh, it's no sound about it. Like, it is.
Okay.
It's
I know.
42 out of 100.
Numbers with
God. 42 out of 100. And in English, it's a 55. And I think they don't even take a history, and then science is somewhere around like a 50.
That's a good point, Humble Dad. But someone else said, I think it was Rimrise said that the church actually did it. The comment went away, but they was like, it happened in the church. It took their identity away. But I don't know if they were speaking to what we said. It came from the black church. It came from the black church, which created an identity crisis. I don't know exactly what him or her are saying about this. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if they were actually speaking to us or someone else, but I don't know about that one. But it's possible. But I'm with that. I think though, Ricky gonna have to help me because he says no, but I'm still thinking it's us. I'm thinking it's the Gen Xers and the boomers that actually put this entitlement, because for us, we were like the first generation of people that had some money to give, or a little extra money to buy things, like we were buying cars and stuff. Our parents never bought cars, and we were paying deposits on apartments and things of that nature. Our parents never did that. We worked to get whatever it was we needed to have. We worked to become adults. That was actually the child to adult thing that happened. And every time we accomplished more, it was a pat on the back because, dang, I did this. And we ourselves felt good about it. It built character in us. And we was like, I got this. Let me go to the next thing. And we began to understand why it was important to work, how important money is to have, and all those things. But for our next group of people, which is our children, we took all that away. We gave them a lot. We gave it all to them. We gave them cars, gave them deposits. We sent them around the world. They be doing world tours now, going to all different types of countries, have no money. My mama gonna pay for it. My daddy gonna pay for it. And I think that gave them a frame of mind as though first of all, they're very selfish people, and they already know that we're there for them to fall back on just in case something happens. So they don't need to work very hard. And I just think that I understand what Ricky is saying, though, when he says, you have to make a decision what's good and what's bad. But Ricky, I'm out to lunch on, do they actually know when we're dealing with relationships, what's good and what's bad? Because basically we're just saying it's more like a moral thing than a right from wrong thing. Does that make sense, y'all? It's more of a moral. It's not like you stole somebody's money. It's more of, I didn't want, it's a little different. It's not a clear cut right or wrong. And if you didn't pick up on that moral, then you won't understand. So what do you think, Ricky?
I think it's a combination, it's such thing as a perfect storm, but some people believe some people can control the weather. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about it, if the things that come together, like he said, we got the schools, right? You think about it, I'm not going to even say schools. I'm going to say just the education system, the youth system that's used to raise children, period, right? Because the truth of the matter is, a lot of times your children spend more time with people at school, in sports and things of that nature than they do. You probably see your kid 4 hours a day. You know what I mean? 4 to 6 hours a day. Then we get, like you said, the church, which we know has been bastardized and used to simply, I don't know, the church. Y'all know how I feel about the church. I'm not going to get into that. You know what I'm saying? Government programs that still existed. You know what I mean? And then, like you said, the coddling of our children, right? Especially with young men, y'all know how I feel about this. It's the adversity that makes you who you are. You know what I mean? So what we did is that, and like I see this all the time, and me and my wife talk about this all the time, or used to talk about this all the time, about how we worked hard and extra hours and finance things that we didn't have for our children, because we didn't have them. You know what I mean? But the very reason why you work the way you do and you grind the way you do is because you didn't have those things when you were younger. Right. So if you have nothing to aspire to, if your parents are doing it, give you everything you ask for, right, then what do you have to aspire to? It's just like you said, then the child gonna think everything gonna fall in their lap like, manna from heaven. Right. The same thing that make us laugh is that makes us cry. And I think it really, honestly, like you said, it comes down to the lessons we have to teach our children about these things, that even though these things are available and you have these outside forces, that you don't have to succumb to them, right? These are simply people and their opinions and their construct, right? But I believe that no one should follow anyone. You should follow your own path, right? You should blaze your own path. There's rules to society, but there's certain rules that don't apply to me, right? There's certain rules don't apply to me. Like, I can't continue to try to understand what this person keeps saying about this about marriage is bad. I don't care what you think about it. That's your example. That's your opinion. My marriage is great. Right? My marriage is dope. Now, just because I don't broadcast the way that you would broadcast your relationship, you know how people put their business all out on the street, right? I don't have to show y'all, you know, a million pictures of me in Hawaii or Jamaica or a cruise on my Facebook. That's not for y'all. That's for me.
Hey, you should at least let us see a couple pics, though, Rick.
Right? That's for me.
He speaks highly of marriage. I understand what's going on, but he also thinks and feels that it's over. But I need to read this because Trey,
it's over for them.
Trey, I want you to tell me where your mother falls in this at, because Trey says boomers and Gen X parents created trash ass children who are. They went away. I can't see it. Trash ass children who are adults today, but they want to act like they aren't responsible for the nonsense walking the streets today. They are. So Trey, are you saying your mother is responsible for you and your trash ass mouth? I agree.
To some degree.
I agree.
And address, because y'all, Trey, he said it's not about individualism. It's about privacy. I believe in privacy, right? Y'all got to remember, like, as far as 96 on up, once the internet hit, and y'all don't understand what privacy is, right? When y'all broadcast y'all relationship, y'all leave that open for interpretation to everybody, right? And I'm not going to even go through the trouble of trying to prove my mettle of what I can or can't deal with. I'm not going to even do that. I'm not going to compromise myself for the fact that so you believe what my relationship is.
So I wonder though, with him saying that to you, is transparency the answer, so you can actually be judged for what you do or condemned? Because there's no problem with judging. I do that myself. So you can be condemned for what you do. Is that where we're going with that? Is that the issue? Because we're here talking and advocating for marriage, then we should be more transparent so we can be condemned if we do or say something incorrectly. Is that where we're going with that? Is that
what I'm saying is this, right? Your marriage is your business.
Correct.
Your relationship is your business. I don't have to be transparent with them because they're not transparent with me.
Right.
What the fuck you talking? Why I'm gonna sit up here and let you dissect my shit when you just a face? Y'all just faces. I don't know you niggas.
Right.
It's your fucking opinion. Just like this is my opinion. This is my opinion. The reason why it offends you is because you don't agree with it.
Yeah, and he's not telling the truth, because he's saying Gen Xers are me. No, listen. I have not ever met any more people. Is that right? Any people more than the millennials, y'all. Y'all are the most selfish people I have ever been acquainted with. My child included. Y'all are so selfish. So y'all need to stop. Y'all are selfish as heck. Now, look, I will tell you my part in it, because we did way too much. But we did, sometimes you don't know what you're doing. You think you're helping a cause. You never would think that you were breaking something down or taking something away or lessons away that needed to actually be walked out. We had no idea. So we did a lot of things we shouldn't have done. And the character, you have to cut it off though. And character is a big issue. Manipulation is another issue. All those things come into play when you get to a point where you be like, wait a minute now. You 35 and I'm still paying your rent. Things happen. And you finally come to, you wake up and you be like, wait a minute now, what am I doing? But there are some parents that actually are going through these type of things. I just exaggerated with the 34-year-old and rent and whatever. But there are a lot of parents that, they can't even, kids are good. I'm not saying these are bad children as in behavior wise, breaking in, entering, police degenerates, none of that. These are good kids. They even gone to college to get bachelor's and master's and all of that. I'm not talking about that. These are some good kids. This is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying though is it's almost like it's a fear for them to actually fly. They are afraid to go out on their own because they have never experienced failure. because like Humble Dad just said, even in grade school, going less than a 42 or less than a 44, you still made it through. Y'all, that's less than half. There's no way. And y'all know something else I noticed a while back. It's been years ago. I noticed it. I told Mr. Boss, I said, how come they just don't deny you anymore for cars? You know, it used to be when we were younger, when we were trying to get our first cars. If your credit wasn't up to par, you didn't have enough credit, you didn't make enough money, whatever the situation was, and you might have been checking all the boxes. If you did not qualify, they told you no, and you just had to go home and continue to work. And, you know, they would always say, apply for that jewelry store credit card or do something else to get yourself some credit. You had to go through a process in order to build yourself. Nowadays, they don't decline anybody. Nobody gets denied for credit anymore. They'll give you a 28% interest rate on a car, which is ridiculous, but they'll do that and you will drive that car off that lot. See, that has hurt the millennials because there's nobody saying no. So the modern woman despises being told no because she's never being told no. This is true, y'all.
I have a pushback though from my homie Rick though. I think it's important for those that have good marriages to, if you care about marriage and you want to see others do well in marriage, for you to advertise it, especially when you're looking at what currently the culture is doing, is that it's going against marriage, right? So, for example, if you look at TV shows, for sure Disney, right? Particularly Disney. If you watch any of the Disney shows, they're not for marriage, even though they say that they're a family show.
Correct.
The mom is or the dad is always not there. Or the dad is made to, even on other shows, this happened back in the 90s. Even you look at the Cosby, Claire was never made fun of. Like, I don't even think Claire did anything wrong. Then you look at the Fresh Prince, the light skin or the dark skin mom really was made to look bad. If you look at Family Matters, I think it was one episode that she made a mistake and he still apologized for her. You know what I'm saying? Or he dismissed that she had made a mistake. So it's also with media showing that there's this that women don't ever do anything wrong, right? And the man is always made to seem as if he don't know what to do. So so that's the reason why that I promote marriage and I talk about it. Even when I lost my wife, like I had a really good marriage, so I knew what it looked like, and I knew that if I didn't get married, it wasn't going to be good for my kids or for me as well, right? And any woman that was going to be in the way. Right. So, and so what I'm saying is that I think it should be advertised. If good marriages need to be advertised just like bad marriages are.
So let's take a quick minute and let's do these super chats. And Easy Money, I'm older than you, and I can tell you so many times that I was denied for my first car. So many times. My sister was denied for her first car. My brother was denied for his first car. And it wasn't because of bad credit. It was because of no credit. And this is what they would always say, because it was always a gimmick. They used to always say, if you could get somebody to go on the loan with you, then you can get this car. We had good credit, but we didn't have what they call high credit. I think I'm using the right word. We didn't have high credit. So if your dad went on or your granddad or somebody else went on with you, then they knew they had a solid deal. And that's what they would push for. And that's exactly how it was. But when we're dealing with now, the millennials, they will give you, y'all can have bad credit. Y'all people now, I'm talking about people, period. You can have bad credit, no credit, whatever, no money, no nothing. They will give you a car. You can drive a car off and they will give you 30% interest rate. They got it now. Buy here, pay here. You could pay weekly, you could pay bi-weekly. All of these things are in play now. Whereas when we were younger, they just told you no, and you knew that you had to firm up your situation, or you had to have somebody on that loan, that note with you that would assure that bank that you would actually get that car. Pay that payment. Excuse me, y'all. Pay that car payment. So I'm telling you, it's a big difference. But let me do these super chats. Elwood Gilbert, thank you so much for your $10 super chat. Salute to everyone. I already read that one, didn't I? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. Samuel Shaw, thank you so much for your $4.99 super chat. Ricky Williams, salute to you, brother. 67, Big Male. How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Ricky is on point like always. Yeah, shout out to Ricky. Thank you so much for your $19.99 super chat. Sugar Bum. We're going to do it at the end. Sugar Bump, thank you so much for your $1.99 super. Sugar Bump, what you saying? Who said won't? God fearing man. Oh God, it wasn't you. But Sugar Bump, let me tell you something. You're gonna get what you get, girl. I hope it's good though. We already have prophesied that you're gonna get one of the best men ever. I hope so. Rod Neal says, thank you so much for your $4.99 super chat. People talk about vetting in these spaces, but they don't really do it because that means they would have to be responsible for what they choose. What you mean, Rod? They don't do the vetting? I don't know about that. I think sometimes we don't know how to vet and we ask the wrong questions and some other things may come into play. Marcus, hello, sir. How are you? What's going on, my favorite people? It's good to see you, Marcus. Thank you for being here. Again, Marcus, thank you for your $5 super chat. Society has taught women that they do whatever they want with no consequences, no matter the age. Woo. You know what, Marcus, you own to something with that because we just came off that real huge case with Mr. Randolph. He was found not guilty, but there's nothing that's going to happen to Miss Dominique, and she was the person that put all that into play. She's walking away. I've heard, oh God, y'all, they said it's immunity. She will get charged for nothing. I don't know. You might be right. Marcus, you might be on to something with that. Ronan, thank you so much. Oh, excuse me. 67 big meals, $19.99 super chat. Ronan pays attention to people's behavior. It's a rerun. You can see them coming. Y'all, yeah, I don't know about that, y'all. I don't know about that. Marcus, thank you so much for your $5 super chat. He said the boomers are the most selfish generation of all times. Marcus, I'm not going to agree with you on that. The millennials have them beat. And I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they do. I'm going to tell you why. We talking about selfishness. I ain't say they didn't mess up now. Understand, y'all, give me a minute. The boomers definitely were a selfish group, and that was the beginning of the corruption of the nuclear family because they decided to do some things, right? But there were, I don't know if it's the majority, I'm going to say the majority of them still instilled character in their children, the ones who stayed present. They absolutely did. They still had a moral code. Everybody knew in the boomer age who was off. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's almost like everybody together. Everybody's doing, you knew when a boomer was off. There was always somebody trying to help. But nowadays it's almost like you just it's just all in there together. Everybody is selfish, and it's coming out in not having a nuclear family. It's coming out and making decisions to have kids without a father in the home. That's coming out now, and that was what we did. That's not something they saw us do. Y'all understand what I mean by that? This is what's going on right now, but they don't have, this is not an example of what happened prior to them. This is not an example. Now, if there was a drug epidemic that was very high now, like crack, then I could say, okay, that's something the boomers did. And and then the entitlement definitely came from the Gen X's, but this single mother household and making a choice to do that on your own is one thing. To have a child and the relationship didn't work out, but it's another thing to choose to have a baby. And then after 18 years, you tell that child, okay, I can tell you where your daddy at now. That's what they're doing now. They're putting it, they're even doing like making artificial babies, y'all. They're saying, I want this type of child, I want this type of child. All that is there's nothing natural about that. I know a couple that had twins. There was no twins around nowhere in their family, but they said they wanted twins. So the doctor implanted two. I want a girl and a boy. Who does that? That wasn't something, that's selfishness. That was about them. It was like cosmetic babies, everything, got cosmetic booties. It used to be when you did all that's all selfishness. It's all about me. That's what's going on now. We taught them, boomers and Gen Xers. Who taught them? Who taught the boomers and Gen Xers? Well, you're going way back too far. I think I don't know. I can't say it because before then we had hardworking people. So I can't tell you that. I don't know.
It was probably media, and it is a combination of when the guy said about the churches. I mean, the politicians back when I think it was civil rights, in order to get Black people to vote for Democrats, they used the Black church. to get them to vote in that particular direction. So that's a true statement that there was a level of where the Black church had their hands on how people were kind of becoming as it relates to being selfish. I mean, if you go more specifically, I mean, you look at people that talk about prosperity gospel, then it's a situation of like, if you gotta do this in order, and if God is not blessing you, then it must be something wrong with you. You're not giving enough, right? So it's this this level of you gotta do X, Y, and Z to get God to get you to get you money, right? So that started during that particular point in time. So, but at the same time, I if we talk about from the man's perspective, right? Men got to be leaders. Every man is not a leader, but every man needs to be. That's what we were designed to do, right? However, because of there not being the nuclear family, it's a disconnect. So I was watching Steve Harvey, him being a judge. Y'all know he do this thing.
Yeah.
Crazy, but okay. I was just on it. I just wanted to see what it was about because I never saw it. Well, two friends were on there and they were suing each other because the one lady hooked her friend up with a guy, and she said, I think he'll be good for you. So they went out to dinner. She ends up paying for her own dinner, right? Because the guy was just looking up in the air when the check came, right? And so she sued her friend because she had to pay, well, she didn't have to, but she decided to pay for her own dinner, right? That's crazy in itself, that she thought that she should get money for her deciding to pick up the check, right? Mm-hmm. Also, the same woman thought that it would be okay to charge her own friend for the gas that she had to use to go over to her friend's house to do her hair, right? So here you go, two people being entitled to something stupid. Now, not only that, once the lady that went on the date went out of the restaurant, the guy reached over to kiss her. What do you think she did?
Pulled away, probably.
No, she kissed him. So she rewarded the dude with bad behavior.
Wow. Okay,
so even in this situation, you have both women being very entitled, and then the woman rewards the dude that was not being a man and just paying for the date or going Dutch, right? With a kiss at the end of the night. And not only that, she called him the next day, and she sent him a video saying that this is not going to be anything. I didn't like that it was a 4-minute video to tell him that she wasn't going to be going out with him again.
Wow.
After she gave him a kiss. Although the kiss was nice, I don't think that's how she started. So
wow. Mr. Boss, can you roll back Miss T. Shaw's comment, because I want the men to answer this, because this is kind of what we've been saying. This is where, it's why does everyone keep blaming others? If your parents taught you wrong, just be sure you teach your kids right. See, T. Shaw, this is the thing for me. This is how I get confused about it, because what is wrong with giving to your kids? Why is that not considered a right thing to do? And I want Ronan, you don't have any kids. So Ronan, what do you think about that statement though?
I believe she's right. And I don't have any kids. I'll tell you, I had auditions, but as far as giving back to the kids, I've had a whole lot of misinformation I had to find out myself. So I had to lean to other guys who were elders, some women too. And then I went to the military. So I had to find out a lot of things outside of them because they wanted to program me a certain way and I wasn't going to go with it. So I decided to step outside the family to find some things. That's why initially there was a clash, but, they started having a begrudging understanding, what they said was wrong and how I was moving different. So that's how you have to do it sometimes. Sometimes you have to look at for what it is and don't really get upset with your parents sometimes because they ran to a lot of information too. But maybe it's on you to sit there and set things straight. That's my personal opinion.
All right, Rick, what do you think about that? I know you think that at a certain age you should just get it. But again, what is wrong with giving to your kids?
Nothing. It's the lessons behind it that you gotta put into them. There's nothing wrong. You're supposed to give to your kids. You're supposed to sacrifice for your children so they have a better life than you, right? But you were supposed to again assume them those lessons to understand the things you had to do to get it, but also the things they have to do to maintain it.
And that's where we failed. It was just given. There was no lesson that came along with it. There was no there was nothing. It was just, this is a need, and we met it. And that was that. There was no, I'm only gonna do this once. You got it. This is how we did this. It was none of that. It was go to school, do what you're supposed to do. Because at my house, going to school was your job. And that was it. You weren't responsible for nothing else. You just had to go to school, get good grades, graduate, and then you were going to decide what you wanted to do. So, us giving was just what it was, a part of it. We wanted their focus to be on one thing, and that's how it was done. So I think that's where we actually messed up.
Yeah. The part about rewarding bad behavior, trying to rent, lease, and buy your children's respect rather than earn it. Instead of like having them do like jobs as far as like paper routes and cutting grass and doing certain things. Now it's just you get a PlayStation 5, even though you failed to get a 42 on your test.
I know, Rona, you're right about that. I don't see. We didn't have that issue. They were not bad kids. They were not bad kids. So that part wasn't it. It was just difficult. I'm just taking responsibility for what I played into what I think that we played into the entitlement part, because them jokers are very entitled right now. They'll come and ask you for anything. It has no limits. It would be some things you just wouldn't ask your parents, but our kids have no limits. I mean, they're grown now, but at some point in time, they had no limits. So I just know that wouldn't be the case. So anyway, we're going to play the video one more time, because the question of the night is, and I guess it can go to men too, because now Humble Dad has brought this up, that even in school, the young men are not being told no, or held behind, or having to suffer the consequences of it either. But modern women despise being told no. I want to hear what y'all think about that from some modern women. Is that the truth, or is it just, a gimmick?
Deal with a married man that never tells you no, or your own man that tells you no 45% of the time.
No, I'm dealing with the married man.
Nah, I take the married dude. I'm sorry.
I'm fucking with the married man.
Married nigga. I'm sorry. Tell me yes. Everything.
Oh, the married nigga. Yeah, give me him.
I would deal with my man that tell me no, because I'm going to beat him the fuck up.
I'm taking the married guy, because why am I with you? You keep saying no for.
I think I'm going to go with the married guy.
I don't like the word no, so.
A married man.
Married man.
The married man.
A married man. You're my little secret.
My own guy that tell me no 45% of the time.
A married man.
Do a married man, because 9 times out of 10 we sharing these niggas anyway.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to take the married man. Like,
Why?
I need to be told no sometimes. You can't always get what you want.
Wow. Let me read something, y'all, that I have not thought about in a very long time. This is from T. Shaw. She says, SB, let me go back and see that. She said, SB parents. She said, SB today, these parents don't even make these kids go to school. I see more dropouts than ever in my line of work. I be trying to figure out who is the parent. Oh, now that's big. That is huge. I know I haven't thought about kids in a very long time, but they dropping out? Dag. Wow, y'all, this is crazy. So again, they're not being told no. Nobody is saying no. So this is why we don't have the nuclear family anymore. This is why the women are opting out and just deciding to have kids, opting out of being married and just deciding to have kids by themselves. Because we can't even make them go to school to get the education. So, okay, so what's going on now? Ricky, what do you think about that? God knows, I didn't know we had that issue.
I mean, what does it matter? People gonna do what they want to do anyway. I look at it like this. So,
Ricky, what is wrong with you tonight?
I'm tired of people. I'm sick and tired. I'm tired.
What can you do? Because you have very
let me explain. Let me explain. And y'all tell me if I'm off. Y'all just tell me if I'm off, right? Last night on King Talk, right? We had two young men, I would say no older than 30, right? Ask us, what's so good about marriage, right? We tell them, and then they still come back with the same rhetoric, right? So we tell them that it's not really about the contract, it's actually the the spirit of the contract, right? Because would you pay for a car if you could just go to a lot and drive off? Right? They give you a contract because in the nature of the contract, you receive something and you have to pay for it, right? Now, we need to get out this ideal, guys, that you don't pay for your girl. Every single man, if you got a girl, you paying for your girl. Simp, pimping, whatever you want to call it, married, you paying for your girl. I keep trying. Your girl likes you, she loves you, right? But because of the nature of the woman, you have to do certain things for her to respond a certain way. It's simply what it is, right? So, and I can prove that to y'all because when y'all see a girl that's with a no good dude, y'all make fun of her. He just laying on your couch, girl. He don't pay no bills, right? He just living off you. He right? So they say, so these dudes, listen to what I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Listen to what I'm saying. So these dudes, they'll say, okay, so I might as well. So if I could do that with my girl, right? I could do that with my girl. But y'all not married. So then when y'all have a baby and then y'all break up, she's a single mother and you're a baby daddy. Right? So then what happens? The very things we just talked about, the very things that y'all said caused this problem, right? Broken homes, parents not raising their children correctly, not having a family union to stand up to the child and teach them a lesson. It's just gonna keep going. And the question that I had to the young men last night is this: why are y'all looking at other men to convince y'all of what that marriage is good? Wasn't the women supposed to be doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Us as men, we not sleeping with y'all. We understand men. I hate this assumption that men don't understand. We know the game is skewed. We know it's a gamble, but we pick the woman that we feel is worth the gamble. Right? So why are you asking men? Why y'all keep asking men about what a marriage, what's good for? My girl is good for me, as HD's dad is good for HD's wife is good for him. Boss, Mr. Boss, security boss is good for him, right? You got why the problem is, again, men don't find value in marriage because they're not required to. There's no value in it. So women keep saying that these dudes is out here doing this and that, when again, y'all supposed to be a product to be bought, right? Since y'all want to keep using these analogies of products and business and all this other stuff, right? Y'all the product that's supposed to be acquired and bought. Why are y'all looking at men to convince other men to marry y'all? Y'all supposed to be doing y'all job to let men know, hey, I'm worth the gamble. Right? So again, the problem is people don't deal with other people because you see no value. You feel they bring no value to your life. You feel they don't bring anything worth you holding on to. And that's what we're in right now. We're in right now that people don't value each other. Y'all talk about we individualistic. Y'all individualistic on a totally, and if this is what you consider me being individualistic, not putting my business out in the street of what me and my wife do. Again, I don't feel I should have to tap dance for anybody. I got 20 years strong. And when I tell y'all it's 20 years, y'all tell me, well, I bet you ain't happy.
Listen, that goes to this. Easy Money Jones. Easy Money. I thought you was a married man. You said exactly. The old heads can't even tell us what we get out of marriage. But
right, your girl tell you.
Yeah, he married. He's married and he's saying that you should be able to share with someone how beneficial your marriage is and how much you love being married. Why we got to tell you, you are a married man? But you're wrong about that, because I tell people all the time how much I love being married, how much I love being a wife, how I'm trying to tell other ladies how to become wives. Marriage is the answer. You know what, though? You ain't got to look, whether I tell you or not, you all are smart enough to know what is most successful. Y'all see it. Y'all already, you know it. You know it. It's not.
Can I help just add on to what the contradiction of the people that you don't want to shame people, but let me tell you that people really don't think, right? And I know this as an educator, that people don't really think about the words that they're using. So one of the things that I did in my research to get my dissertation was how can Black owners be more sustainable because we are the fastest to get into business and we're the fastest to fail at business. Okay. And so what's interesting about that statement is that Black people in general, just be more specific, right, are willing to take a risk in business ownership, which is a higher risk than being married, right? It's a higher risk to fail at business and lose your money than it is to lose money to the person that you say is going to be your wife, right? Additionally, there are benefits also on the flip side. There are benefits to having a business, but there are people that won't even start a business, right? Even though there are benefits to having a business. So what I'm saying is that individuals are not as intelligent as they think that they are when they use these words like, what is the benefit of marriage? I listened to last night's show. I wasn't on it. I was just chilling. You know,
What show y'all speaking of? I missed it.
King Talk.
Oh, okay. So okay.
In this part, I caught late in the evening, right? It was probably late, around 11 something, right. And I was like, oh man, I wish I could go up on this one because this is right up my alley, right? Dude was saying, Trigger Mike gave him probably 6 or 7 good ones, right? 6 or 7 good ones. He literally was like, well, but that's not it. So he hit him with facts. One fact that he showed that he said was that every NBA champion since the time has started, 90% of them were from or married. The superstar on the team was married, right? So Jokic, MVP, is married. The only probably wasn't married that I can think of is Kevin Durant. Steph Curry married. Shaq was married at the time. Kobe was married. Dirk was married. LeBron was married. Like all of these individuals are married. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Married men make more money than single dudes. Married men are more healthy than single dudes. And he said because the wife is typically going to be cooking and making sure that his health is well. Gave him, and then you also won't have a bastard child, like Rick was alluding to, right? Because if you have you're just gonna have sex with this woman, get her pregnant, and then y'all just gonna live together with this kid. The information is out there that says that if you live in a household with your kid and not married to the mother of your kid, the kid is not growing up in a healthy environment. I mean, I wish I had my paper, but it's a study that was done by, I think it was 30 different individuals that were not of religious tone, right? So it's so much of an advantage that they don't want to see it. As Rick Nim said, why don't y'all just say y'all don't want to be married? That would make more sense, right? And then also make sure you let that woman know that you don't want to be married, because if you're just going to string her along, then that means that you are messing her up for the next guy. That means that you're taking away her opportunity to create life with another person. And most women want to do anyway.
Can I address this?
I was going to say this is sad too. Go ahead. You want to read it and address it, or you want to go ahead and just
look? Your marriage is yours, gentlemen. Your marriage is going to be whatever you make it and allow it to be. I give men game all the time. I give you the game on how to deal with women. But the truth is, a lot of men, I ain't gonna even say a lot. I'm gonna say most men, y'all ain't strong enough to stand on y'all square to do what I tell y'all to do anyway. So what are you talking about? Right? Y'all got to be the man you need to be first for you. If you're not willing to stand on your square on stuff you supposedly believe in, there's no point in you being with no girl. You're going to get ran over every time. Because just like you said, women understand, they pass it down. But like I said, when I tell y'all how y'all need to move as a young man, y'all, hey, he just an old head. He 20 years out the game. Y'all always got an excuse. Y'all say we don't give it to you, but when we give it to you and you don't like it, it requires you to do something that you don't do right now. Then y'all want to blame it on me. This is what I see every day. Y'all sit in the chat, click a link, come, let's talk about it.
Absolutely. Please do. Because this is what needs to happen. There needs to be men who have done it or in the process of doing it to go back and tell the young men what exactly to do. And it's not about dating. Women and men have not changed. I know y'all say these ladies have gotten out of control, but women have been out of control for a very long time. We understand that dating game is different, but guess what? We don't want y'all to be in the dating game. We want y'all to get married. And marriage has not changed. It's the same. And it is what you make it. So you definitely need to be talking to a man that knows what to do. But you're right, Ricky. They don't hear you. But I think we need to have a conversation, because guess what? Men and women, The ladies do the same thing. There are a lot of women out there that would tell their a younger woman, don't get married, but she's sleeping with a man, her husband, every single night. He's paying her bills. He's doing everything for her as her husband, but she will not tell the other young woman the benefits of having that man with her. And I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. There are many elders that will not push marriage, but actually have husbands, and the husbands do everything they're supposed to do as husbands, but a woman will not tell another woman a husband is what you need. They much prefer, hey, go out, get your degrees. You don't need him. You don't need no man. And they will speak against a man easy, but they won't speak up about them having a husband. And I think that's weird. So same difference. We just got people nowadays that speak against marriage for whatever reason. But Ricky, I think you're in a good place. I think you should continue to fight them when they say weird stuff. And I think if you really mean what you say, you really want to be married, men, you need to speak to somebody that give you some pushback, because in these spaces, what you've been getting from me, I know, well, not from me, what I've heard for the last 2 years is nothing but talking points. Nothing but talking points. 3 dates, you got to have sex, all that. Go ahead, Ronan.
I want to say, like, there's a difference between elders and olders. You got a lot of olders giving out misinformation. They're doing the whole backdoor stuff you're talking about, like, telling, like, don't get married, but then they're sleeping with other people's wives and husbands and whatnot. Elders will sit there and tell you the lessons you need to learn, not just by personal experience, but what they know. So most of them don't know the difference.
But Trey, listen, it's crazy to think men who've been out of the game don't.
So Trey,
how
is dating going for you, Trey? What type of women are you encountering?
Actually, he can't answer now, but what difference does it make? You only need one, and you got to yourself for that one.
Like I said, let's have a conversation.
Yeah, Trey, we're gonna drop the link. I need you to come up. That's a very good conversation to have, because
I would like to answer that question. I'm sorry, Rick.
Go ahead, bro. You can go ahead, bro.
I think this was me and Rick, me and Rick had talked. It was on King Talk one time, and they was in the chat talking about how me, Rick, and I think it was, who was it? Trio. Yeah, it was Trio. We was talking and we was trying to give game and whatnot. And they said in the chat, the only people that would probably, Humble Dad and Ricky probably wouldn't even get nobody, right? If they was out, because they don't know what it's like to be out here, right? The only one that would probably get somebody was Trio, right? That's what the conversation was. I don't know if you remember that, Rick, or not, right?
Whoa, wait a minute, slow down. You said if Ricky was dating now, if you two were dating now, y'all couldn't get nobody?
Yeah, that's what they were saying in the chat. Right?
Oh, wow.
I won't say everybody, but it was a conversation in the chat, right? And so, I said, okay, that's crazy, because I got game. Period. And I was married before, you know what I'm saying? So I know what it looked like, right? And so, but anyway, so now I am married, right? Again. So what we're gonna say now? Right? And so that's why I will be wanting to have the conversation with dudes, and I do have conversation with dudes that say that you can't get it out here. And as you said, and Ricky has said it before, you're only looking for one. Is it gonna take work? Absolutely, it's gonna take work. Right. So are you willing to put in the work, though? Because that's what it's going to take. If you're trying to find a woman specifically to carry 100% of what it is that you want, you're not going to find her. You know what I'm saying? There's no woman that can do 100% of all the things that you put on your list. Right. You might as well be acting like a woman.
You know what? I wonder about that, too, because Easy Money said something, too, that was kind of interesting. He said he didn't want the type of marriage that his grandparents had. And my first question to him was, are you your granddaddy? Because in my relationship with my husband, we create our reality and we make it what it is. So I don't know why you would have to equate what you and your wife do to what your grandparents did, because it really doesn't make any sense unless you just the fact that they are older, or we're older and we're married a longer period of time, because your marriage is what you make it. It definitely should be. You should never, I don't know how you would do that. Whatever you want to do in your marriage, if you and your wife want to hang from chandeliers, hang from them chandeliers. If you get to that, that level to where you feel that comfortable, or whatever y'all want to do, how can it equate to what you and your grandparents did. And if theirs was toxic, absolutely you don't want that. Don't have a toxic relationship.
That's crazy. Like that's a good point, SB. Because for me, this is my second marriage, right? As I already said, I'm not the same that I was when I was married to my late wife Jen, but I know that I get to make it in both situations. I'm able to make the marriage what it is that I want.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's even in a relationship with your homie, right? That it is what the relationship is what y'all have deemed is going to be cool. It's the same thing. You go to work. The reason why you may leave that job is because they weren't fulfilling their end of the bargain, or you may have found something better. But marriage is different than that, right? In marriage, it's like, okay, here's a partnership that the reason why I said that I want you to be my wife is because I see that you benefit me in a way that I didn't know that I could benefit myself, as well as I can benefit you. And we can come together and we can build something that we see will be long lasting, especially for our kids. Because at the end of the day, marriage was designed so that we can come together and procreate and have kids and then recycle the cycle.
Humble Dad, healthy communication is not supposed to work.
What?
You're not supposed to have healthy communication. You're not supposed to have mutual respect.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I like that you had the shirt on. I'm not sure why you took it off. Maybe it's
sarcasm
or something. I know. That's what I said. Your shirt you had on before, you said I love sarcasm. You know
so why can't you just write letters if your communication ain't healthy? Write letters and just drop it somewhere so you know they'll see it. Let me do these super chats really quick. It's a way you can be done. If you want something done, and wait a minute, before I do that, Trey, I really love that last advice you got. He said, hey guys, if you don't want to be poor, then just be rich. Absolutely. But guess what? It's going to require that you do something. And as long as you are knowing that you don't just come here automatically rich unless it comes from your parents, then you'll put in the work to actually get what you want. So that was some good advice, Trey. I like that actually. If you don't want to be poor, you'll get your butt out there and work. Or you will create something. You will find the right people to talk to figure out how to figure out how to make those investments and get that money. I don't do nothing illegal. So y'all, I'm just talking on investment and job and working and career oriented. So it's a way to do it. It's a way to do it. You don't have to live in poorness, if that's what you want to call it. But
dearly beloved.
So again, that was good advice, Trey. Big Ant, what's going on with you? Thank you so much for your $10 super chat. He says, hey, SB, my parents were married for 42 years before my father passed. So I saw marriage. But what I see today is for the toilet. And the toilet is sending some of these back up. You mean the toilet is regurgitate? Golly. All right. So listen, I think what I hear you all saying is that back in the day, and I may be wrong with this, but we're going with what Big Ant said. It seems like marriages before, we had more holding us together, and it was the church. It was the spiritual relationship with God, and the fact that it was a duty to do so, and people really cared about each other. Marriages were more than just being together. We had a duty to each other, and they all cared about their children. They cared about their families. And for whatever reason, and we know what it is, for whatever reason, they were not most of them were not going to just leave their kids to be without their dad. It had to be a real special situation for that to happen. So with that being said, sometimes the women or the men took on single mothers with children. Sometimes they actually had families across town or what have you. It wasn't a perfect situation. If they had to keep it hush hush, they kept it hush hush, but they still did whatever they were supposed to do as men and women. They kept the family together. As time went on, the boomers kind of broke up the family. They didn't care. Like y'all said, they were a bit selfish. They got into some bad things, a lot of them, but they still had that moral consciousness about them, a lot of them, and they still wasn't so far away from those godly principles that they just threw in the towel. But then came us, and then y'all know what we did. There are some of us that care about God, principles, foundation, but we had a little bit of money, and then that kind of hurt us. So because our gods are now changing, instead of being God of principle, a lot of us now are God of money, and we gave it on and passed it on to our children, which makes you all A bit entitled. But anyway, we all gonna get better because we're gonna continue to talk about it. But listen, I want Trey or Easy Money because you all were the two that had most of the pushback for what men are doing or not doing. And Ricky and Humble Dad and Ronan are here to speak to that. And I think that's a conversation that needs to be had actually, because I often say I talk to the women, but I don't see too many men talking to the men outside of Ricky, and Ricky and I be fighting together. Outside of Ricky, Humble Dad just recently got into this. There's not too many men trying to tell other men how to be that husband. And there's probably not.
Hold on. So he said, so how can I be covertly bragging Trey about my marriage, but not speaking up marriage?
What?
Did he say that? He said you would brag. Oh, he did that. Trey, are you just trolling? I think he might be trolling now.
See, this is what I'm saying, right? Like the truth is, y'all, and listen to it. I want to be totally transparent and honest with y'all. My marriage, your relationships or your marriage is not going to be the same as mine. You are a different person. Your mate's going to be different, right? I'm not saying my way is the right way for you. I'm saying this is what works for me. Throw it down on the floor, see if it works. If not, throw it in the trash. Put it in the trash. But if it works, hopefully it's something you can put into your tool belt to get to the next level, to get to the next step. Right? My word is not gospel, but it's gospel to me. The same way your beliefs are gospel to you. This is weird that y'all, it's weird to me how y'all expect me to take y'all input, but when I give y'all when I give y'all my input, it's this and that. So why I gotta listen to y'all?
I feel like I really missed something on Krew season last night because I feel like it's something going on. I don't know.
No.
I'm sorry, Key Talk. I feel like it's something going on that I don't know nothing about.
What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. If we, peace to you guys. It's like if we gonna have a conversation, let's have a conversation, right? Y'all tagging y'all little soliloquies, right? Oh, 20 years out of touch. Yep, I've been 20 years not having to worry about no goddamn woman. I've been 20 years not worrying about where a girl at and what she doing in the streets and all this stuff. What's your story? What's your story? Right, like I said, we need to get to the point where, like, the honest, the God is, it's not my job to sell y'all marriage. That's the woman's job. I think that's where a lot of men got this messed up. Y'all talking, all I can do is tell you how to move as a man. That's all I can do. And that's the way I move. That's the way I move. But then when I tell y'all I stand on certain stuff, right? I do this. Y'all be looking at me like, oh, he misogynist, he this, he that. Like it's a lose-lose situation. I don't get people, right? Like, let's have a conversation. If we're gonna have a conversation, I can tell you what worked for me. You can tell me what worked for you. Hopefully I can learn something for you. Hopefully you can learn something from me. Right? But this little knick-knack stuff y'all be doing, like, ain't no point in y'all being here and ain't no point in nobody being here, bro. You might as well go and find something else to do. This is what y'all do to make yourself feel better about people who married and you ain't married and you living a life and you living a good life just like the rest. Hey, that's cool, man.
I think what's happening is they're trolling, but again, what we're trying to put, what I'm doing over here at SB Nation is I'm trying to push the nuclear family because I think that's the answer. It's not good for a woman to be a single mother, have children outside of the nuclear family. It's very tough. It's mentally draining. It's not good for the children. None of it's good. And we all know that when the nuclear family exists, the community and the culture actually does well. So that's what we want to happen. But again, if it's something that we should be sharing with you all that we're not sharing, you need to let us know. And if you don't want to hear what we're saying, there, like Ricky said before, the ones that have it. We're here trying to, we're fishing. I'm fishing. Ricky said he's done with y'all ass. Excuse me, y'all. But I'm fishing. Trying to pull a couple of y'all out because I absolutely know that women need to be covered. And that's what I would like for, that's what I want to happen. I don't want women to be just out here by themselves and just trying to figure it out. Now, as far as the men go, Ricky, like you say, you might be right about this. You could be done. I mean, if they don't want to do or don't want the advice that you're giving them, there's nothing you can do about that.
I think it's interesting that individuals that are not marriage minded want somebody to tell them how to be marriage minded. Right? If
They
I
say that we're not listening. They said married people don't listen, so maybe I need to listen a little bit better. Tell me, yeah.
that's the thing. If you're not marriage minded, right? It kind of goes back to you need to be self motivated. Somebody shouldn't have to motivate you to go work out. You should want to go work out. Nobody should have to motivate you to want to go make money. Just like nobody should have to make you want to be married or motivate you to be married. Right? It's one of those things that if you want to be married, we can talk to you about how to find a good wife. You know what I'm saying, or somebody that's going to be suitable for you. But if I try to tell you how to find something that you're not wanting to look for, then that's when I'm wasting my time.
Well, listen, Mr. Boss is gonna drop the link in the chat because Easy Money, you're a pretty good spokesperson, and Trey, you're a very good spokesperson also. I would love to hear what we're not listening to because we all can listen better. So I'm agree with you on that one. And I know the men would love to speak to whatever it is you have an issue with. If you don't have one, I know you probably don't, but it needs to be a discussion that needs to be had because maybe there are several people that think just like you. Let me see what T-Shaw says. T-Shaw said, SB, keep doing what you are doing. Those who want marriage will get married. My wife's circle focuses on what it takes to stay married. Hey, listen, T-Shaw, we already been here for a very long time. We're trying to get those other ones over here because it's good life over this way, you know? So listen, I'm gonna do these super chat really quick. Hidden Gems podcast. They are liars. Oh, he done added a lazy to it. Ricky, you gonna have to do that.
Liars, bro. They liars.
You got to add lazy to it and see how it works. Thank you so much, Hidden Gems, for your $2 super chat. Also from Hidden Gems, SB Live, they want their relationship to be what they want without putting in work to find the right woman and create the right situation for themselves with that person. They are lazy liars. You know, that is very lazy because if you telling me they want to be married and then once they get the wife, they don't want to make that relationship work for them, that's beyond lazy. That's like insane. That's crazy. I mean, I don't even know what that is. That's like marriage 101. You got to make it what you want it to be. Otherwise, what are you doing? You shouldn't have never gotten married if you ain't trying to create something with the woman that you marry or the vice versa. You either got, look, we're going to eat pizza on Wednesday night. We're going to have sex on Friday night, whatever it is. Y'all got to create something. You got to create something.
Shout out to Sugar Bum. I agree to what Sugar Bum just typed. Facts. You right on that one, Sugar Bum.
I don't see it, but let me read the super chat and get to Dr. Steele. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat. When you are in a relationship, you only pay attention to your mate. If you are not in a relationship, you can only visualize what it may look like. Oh, I hear. But even in your visualizing what it may look like, you're creating your reality though. You know, if your woman walk by, you smack on the butt, you be like, if she be standing at that stove, I'm gonna roll up behind her. You're creating all of those things that you'll probably do once you get your woman. Right? Sugar Bum said, I told y'all these men don't want to be married though. Whoa. Sugar Bum, you'll get them every time. Sugar Bum bait them up. She be like talking right along with them and then she flexing. You see that?
I agree with her 100% at this point.
They don't want to be married.
They don't. Because like I said, like, okay, so if you marriage minded, right, then you got to understand if you like the man who finds a wife that finds a good thing, you expect every woman out here to be a wife. And I understand what the fella's saying. It's a bunch of trash out here. That's facts, right? That's facts. But if you move a certain way, you're not going to deal with those type of women in the first place. If they pulling the wool off of their eyes, you are counting them and you run them through the ringer, you're going to step off. What are you doing here? What is you doing here? This ain't nothing to talk about. We moving along. But every day, men in here talking about these women, it ain't that many. Yeah, it's a bunch of them, but you can't get one. It going to keep coming back to the same stuff I said. You can't get one. One decent woman. One. You the man. You the man. You got it all together, right? And you got your game down so tight. And it's the same with the ladies. You a good woman, you this and that. And yeah, man, trash. There's a bunch of them out here doing what they wasn't supposed to do, but you can't keep one. Uno.
Sugar Bum, I'm not going to allow this to happen. You know, you got a man already and a baby, so I need you to stop. Okay.
There's no incentive to get married. So what's the point of you even talking about it or being in a chat where people are talking about what you need to do or you want to be marriage minded and this is what she's pushing? What's the point of being here? To keep your negative shit going. Let's keep it a bean.
Been saying it for the longest time.
Come all the time. I love to have their support. Actually, I think they're just playing games because they support, they listen, they keep coming back. I appreciate them. I was like, okay, guess what? You're gonna hear what I'm saying, and pretty soon you're gonna have a wife. That's all good, or a husband. It's gonna work both ways. It's gonna work both ways.
But also to add that, remember I said, why would a dude? I think somebody else said, maybe Ricky. Why would a dude want to be married if a woman gonna give him what he gonna get anyway? Like if a woman is giving up the goods, if she's cooking and cleaning, she's doing all the things, then what would even make him want to be married? So that's what Ricky is alluding to. Women, you got to, if you want to be married to a dude, then you definitely don't need to be giving it up to him.
Right. Well, listen, I always advise the ladies, if they're sincere about being married, they need to start preserving themselves. Actually, you can't continue to be sexually liberated and think you can be sincerely in a relationship with a man and be his wife. It's not going to happen. It's just too much going on, too much spiritual bonding or what have you going on within your mind to actually be a good wife. So I always preach to them to definitely preserve themselves. Let me read this super chat. Listen, if you guys are not coming up, because y'all talking, Trey, it's not an echo. What you mean echo chamber? If we actually have points that we agree on, then we agree on them. If you don't agree, then okay, it's okay not to agree.
It's because I told him, why is he here, right? So when we talking about marriage and what you want to, don't you want to be in an echo chamber where we support marriage and saying, hey, this is why you should get married, right? This is the benefits of it, right? This is the things, right? Now we don't want an echo chamber, right? Shut the fuck up.
Now what?
And I just disagree with Ricky. I just disagree with Ricky on advertising marriages. Like there was a conversation. I told you people don't be thinking about what they say, man.
Easy money. What
at least Sugar Bum keep it a fucking bean. You know what I'm saying? God damn, bro. Like y'all the same women y'all talk about y'all hate.
Yep. But listen, Easy money. What talking points do we have? Do y'all realize I don't feel like I have any talking points? Y'all got to help me. Y'all got to help me out. Ekade says, SB, you don't drop the link for them to come up. I do. We did. I did drop it. You didn't. I thought I did. Let me drop it again. Let me do it again. Let me drop it again. We dropped it several times. I got some confirmation from that. So Trey know how to hit a link, and Easy Money do too. Who did?
7 minutes ago, you dropped.
7 minutes ago. See there, y'all playing. You didn't say it. Oh, he didn't say USB. Okay, all right. Anyway, one of those men who wants to get married. The only challenge is where to find that wife. Listen,
I get what he's saying. I mean, then it's like, mainly you got to prepare yourself.
Okay.
All right. Really do some things that you're supposed to take care of in preparation. Ask the OGs who know what they're doing. And get some advice there, but you got to set that table for yourself, your parameters and whatnot, and go from there. But don't hurt to seek advice.
Okay, so come on, Trey, tell us. Come with it, Trey. I want you to come out blazing. What you got?
There's no need to come out blazing. I think Ricky has already proved my point.
And
my point is very simple. He's out of touch, and then he made the comment that he at home with his wife. So he's proved my point. There's nothing else to talk about, and I can see. And what I've learned here tonight is Ricky's a lot more sensitive than I thought he was. So now we cursing, telling people to get out of the room.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
You're not going to let me finish? Telling people to get out the room. You don't need to be here. Here's the thing. You guys on the echo chamber, that's perfectly fine. I have no problems. I can go on about my life. But at the same time, I'm a 38-year-old man. I'm a millennial. I retired at 35 years old as a multimillionaire because I invested in Tesla. I live a different lifestyle, and I'm trying to explain to you guys that what you think the market is producing out here is not what it's producing. And you guys have a video that is clearly showing you the type of women that are in the market, and you guys are ignoring it. You're trying to make it seem like, oh, this is just a small little group. It's not a small group. This is a large majority of the women that you date. I have a date on Friday with a woman, and she's a dental tech. I'll be happy to update you guys on how that goes. I actually date women that are out here. I live in Washington, D.C. These women make a lot of money here. They have good jobs. They work for the government. They work for private contractors here. They make a lot of money. It is very difficult to date women here because their mentality is different. Now, if I lived in rural Kentucky somewhere, I would imagine it would be different. And when you live in a big city, it's a different feel, and you guys don't understand it. So when somebody comes and tells you, a millennial will come and tell you, listen, it's not what you think it is. You guys don't want to listen. So that's why I say the things like married people don't listen. You don't want to hear it. There is a certain level of arrogance that you guys carry, you married people carry, because you don't want to hear what single guys like me are trying to tell you about the dating market, because you guys think, well, I was there, I did it, and you can find one, just find one. What the hell do you think I'm trying to do? What exactly do you think we're doing out here? You think I'm trying to find none? Of course I'm trying to find one. It is not as easy as it seems, even when you're a man who has his shit together.
Slow down, Trey. Slow down, Trey.
Can I ask the question, Trey? Because you said that you invested in Tesla, and it made you into a millionaire, or afforded you the opportunity to retire. What was the decision in going with Tesla?
The decision in Tesla was based upon probably about 6 months of research that I had to do. I had to read into the R&D, and I actually got lucky. I was in the military at the time. I happened to walk into the BXPX, and I saw this funny looking white guy with a funny looking name on the front of a magazine. And I just so happened to pick it up. His name happened to be Elon Musk. And they were talking about how he was going to put these batteries in these cars and it was going to change the world. And I didn't believe it, but I read it. I started to do my research, started to look at the numbers. He had already been successful in another company. I decided to take a chance. I took a huge chance. I spent all the money I had, my entire life savings, in buying the stocks in 2010. That's how it happened. But I took my time. I did my research, and I made a calculated decision. But I could have lost everything. Tesla could have not worked out, and I would have been broke.
Right. So in that same thought process, are you wanting to be married?
I'm gonna be honest with you, humble dad. I flip flop, and I'll be the first to tell you. SB can tell you that I flip flop back and forth. There is a part of me that does want to be married. I did want to marry my daughter's mom, and there was a woman before in my past when I was dead broke, had no money. I did want to marry her, but the more and more I go out on these dates, I'm realizing that it's a huge risk for me to step up and get married. Even with a prenup, it's still a huge risk because a lot of people keep forgetting that in a prenup, the prenup has to be fair.
Right, but you also said that it was a risk in, you pushed all your chips in for Elon Musk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then that means that you attack that investment totally different than you're attacking marriage.
I don't understand what.
Because you was not flip-flopping on investing. If you did, we don't know. But what we do know is that you pushed all your chips in based on your own information.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, so here's the thing, humble dad. If I could date a woman and pull up every man that she's ever dated and sit down and have a conversation with him, then I'll be fine. Because that's the thing that I can do with stocks. I can go back years and look at what they did. I can go back and find out their performance 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But when you date a woman, I can't do that. I can't go ask her, well, let me talk to your boyfriend that you had 4 or 5 years ago.
Why
let
not?
me sit down and, if she's still in contact with him, most women aren't even in contact with him.
But why can't you? Have you ever tried?
Yes, I do it all the time. I do it all. So SB, yeah. See, that's the thing. We've had this conversation. SB, we've been talking about my 10 free dates. We talk about that all the time, right? Like, we're not out here just trying to just like, if I wanted to just get it in, I could just get it in if I wanted to. And that was before I had money. When I was in the military, I was moving and shaking while I was traveling.
Maybe I'm asking the wrong question.
But at the end of the day, if you want me to do my due diligence on a woman, right? Then I need access to be able to do that. And for a lot of women, I can't get that access. I can't go back and go speak to the men that she dated in the past. All I have is what she's going to tell me. And let's be quite honest. Women are not going to tell you the truth. They're not going to tell you the full truth.
Okay, so then why concern yourself with being married? Why keep going flip-flop? Why flip-flop when you already made your decision that you don't want to be married? Because you have more cons against marriage, and that you feel like it's going to be a hindrance to you, then why concern yourself with being married?
Well, how did you get that I have more cons? I haven't even listed all of them. I haven't listed all the pros or the cons. That's an assumption.
No, based on the information that you gave, when I said, why don't you treat it as if you were investing in a stock, right? You came back with an excuse, not excuse, but a reason of that you could not.
I can't properly vet her the same way I can vet a stock.
But you can. No, I mean, one of the things that you could do, you could hire a private investigator.
So I have to spend money on a private investigator.
Did you spend money on a private?
Did you spend money on a private investigator for your wife?
But I didn't vet how you want to vet. I vetted differently.
You just believe what she said?
No.
Well, how did you vet?
You know, I was married. This is my second marriage. So how I vetted was, I talked to her friends, right? I saw how she interacted with her clients because she's a business lady, and so I've talked to people that sat in her chair as it relates to her being a stylist, and I've talked to my homies that have been around her, and in the conversation that she's had. Every time anything that she said, I make sure I pay attention and see it and follow up with if it was true. She's been consistent at the things that she said. I checked out Facebook. I checked out her Instagram. She's talked to me about her ex-boyfriends. I haven't talked to them or anything like that. And obviously it's just one-sided, but the thing, she was honest about the things, why it didn't go right from her perspective, as far as what she did wrong in the relationship. She also talked about, the challenges of dating. You know what I'm saying? And what made me different as it relates to the dudes that are out here. And then once again, my whole process, though, was looking for a wife. I wasn't flip-flopping on if I wanted to be married or not. And that's the thing between me and you. You're flip-flopping on if you want to. And so as a result, your disposition it leans more towards not being married. That's what I'm saying to you. And to let you know my situation, because I'm married now, but I've only been married again for 2 weeks. Right? I lost my wife like two years ago. Okay. And so I had to experience that and work through that. And I got 4 kids. Right. So yes, I did my due diligence. And so because
I gave you made the comparison based on the stock. I gave you a difference in researching the stock versus dating a woman. That I simply answered the question that you gave me.
So listen, let me add this because I heard something. You're very concerned about her history, which is very good. But when I think about her history, the things that would be life altering, those would have been the things that she did in her past that actually are now altered her or have some sort of impression on her present. Wouldn't you think? Like if it's something that you had to be concerned about that she did in her past, wouldn't that be something that would have altered her to the point that now it's shaping her present? If it was not, then why would you be concerned about it? Just a question.
I want to make sure I understand. So you're saying that
those things the things that are bad that you need to probably, this is my opinion, the things that were probably those deal breakers, those red flags, things that I have done in my past that would be a deal breaker, red flag, or what have you, those things would probably show up in my present. Meaning, like if I've been to jail, it would be simple for you to do a background check on me. You would see that I was charged or convicted for whatever crime.
When I was a cop, I did a background check on every woman I went.
Oh, it's real simple. Just let me know. It's real simple. We can get it done. Listen, hold on. Let's keep going. If I had a child per se, my child would currently be in my present, or if if I was committed, had mental illness or whatever, those things, they're in your present time. So anything that would have altered me in my past would still be in my present. Otherwise, it would be too small, or a bad decision or whatever that I committed or something, whatever I did as a child, and it wouldn't matter as an adult.
I think for the most part, yes, you're right, SB. But you do have some women that are very good at concealing the things that have altered them in the past, and it's changed, and they're very good at it. However, my vetting process is fairly decent. I still have connections. I can still make some phone calls and pull up some reports and do some background checks. And once I see the red flags, I'm not one of these guys who ignores the red flags. When I see it, I'm out. I have no problem chucking women to deuces. None at all. Literally zero. I have gotten up in the middle of dinners, paid the balance, and walked out in the middle of a dinner. I have no issues doing that at all. So when that red flag does present itself, if I can't get to it before we started dating, because I asked a lot of questions. You know what I need to do, SB? I need to send you my text messages. That's what I need to do. That's what I need to do.
Trey, you always bring Mr. Boss out. Listen to this.
I wonder, I'm the only one who can do that, apparently.
You know what? Maybe he sees some of you in himself.
Yeah, I do.
That could be true. Yeah, that could be true.
You have so much passion, but it's not directed in the right direction yet. The fact of the matter is, I'm going to say this. I know this is probably not what y'all want to hear, but this is for everyone listening that needs it. The fact of the matter is, before I found a good wife, I prayed for her. I prayed that God send me the woman that he desired for me to be with. Because I messed up the first time. I selected from my flesh and got the wrong person. I got a fleshly woman who satisfied my flesh, and that was about it. Okay, so I'm telling you, you cannot select a wife without prayer because it's a spiritual concept. So how can you phantom or succeed at a spiritual concept in the physical? You can't do it. You can't do it. Now, most men, especially in these spaces, will not tell you to pray for a woman. But I'm telling you that the wrong woman in your life can ruin it. We all know that. We've been hearing it for years in these spaces, that the wrong woman, we know what they can do. And they're everywhere right now. But I'm telling you, this is something that takes spiritual intervention, especially in a world that is so corrupt right now with women who have no value. I'm telling you, you don't have the physical capability to decipher everything about these women that we're seeing in these spaces. You just can't do it in the physical. I promise you can't, because you'll get duped every time. You'll get stuck with the wrong one. And she, like I said before, she will ruin you. So I'm saying, just remember that if it's important enough to you, make sure you pray that God sends you that woman, because he's the only one can send you the right woman. One more thing, and I'm gonna let you go. I remember thinking that in my carnal mind, I could probably select a good woman for me 27 years ago, the person I was then. But what I understood was, I don't know who I'm going to be 27 years from now, but only God knows that. I'm saying, how can I select the woman that's going to be right for me now and in the future? I couldn't have done it. And so I'm telling you that's what I mean by a spiritual concept. Y'all got to get this. Y'all got to get this. And I'm not a lot overly religious, but I'm wise enough to know that our Creator knows everything. And he knows the things that we don't know. Okay. So I want y'all to get that. And y'all have a good night. Trey, I'm praying for you, man. The best of luck to you. I see you vasculating back and forth, but I'm just like a humble dad said, that you got to make up your mind that you want to be married. You'll never get that woman, even if you go into prayer with the doubt that you have. You gotta understand and believe that your God is bigger than that, and he can send you exactly who's for you. Now listen, I want to say this.
You said one more thing.
Well, no, I gotta tell them this. This woman that y'all hear every week, she is real and authentic. See, I'm the asshole in this relationship. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Just in case y'all didn't know, it's not me.
I'm the asshole. Okay, but I'm telling you, this woman, she's my wife for 27 years, man. And she is authentic. She is the most authentic woman that y'all will get on YouTube or in this earth. I'm telling you. And I'm not just saying that because I'm not saying that just because she's my wife. Yes. I just want y'all to know that the gems that she give you, none of them are fake. They're all real. And I hope that y'all can take heed and understand that the way to go is through marriage. Because right now we all going to hell the way things are going. We got to get married, man. We got to get coupled up, and women need to be covered. Men need that helpmate, man. We need that helpmate. We need that helpmate. All right, guys. Good night.
That boy spoke. Ooh.
I don't. I'm outdone with Mr. Boss taking my show. I'm gonna have to
cut it out.
hard about this. I'm gonna be hard about this.
Y'all won.
I know.
I thought the first time I did it was a fluke, but apparently it's not. That's the second time I've been able to get him to voice his opinion.
No, I think he actually.
Mr. Boss, I respect it. I don't have any pushback on that. I respect that.
I think he actually sees some of you in him because he never talks. Trey, he's not an over talker. Honestly, this is honest. I couldn't be with a man that talked a lot. He's not that type of guy. He observes things. He puts things together. He just, he's very smart like that, but he's not going to over talk. Like, just no. So he got to see something in you. And it, before he met me, that probably was the case. But guess what? I get on his nerves, y'all. I got to tell y'all this because I get on his nerves because he's like, I get tired of you. You always be right. I be in his head and I'll be like, you did this, this, and this, and this, and this. And he'll be like, he'll say no at first and he'll come back and be like, you right. And then he hates that I'm right. So he for him to speak, Trey, there's got to be something moving him. I can just say that because he.
Can I just say this, SB, and I'll drop down. I have no problem. I can listen. I don't accuse people of not being able to listen and then me not listening. So I will listen to Mr. Boss. I will listen to Humble Dad when they tell me that I need to make a decision. So that's something that I'm going to take from this, and I'm going to walk away and I'm going to figure out whether or not I really actually want to be married or if I don't want to be married, and then I'll move forward with that. That's the lesson in this. I have no problem.
You didn't want to talk to me?
No, honestly, Ricky, no, because you've already made the point that you don't care, and that if this is your opinion, and to me, it's a fruitless conversation. When I hear people say things like that, there's nothing to come from it. You believe what you believe. I believe what I believe. And we can just move forward.
I just want to address the point you said as far as when you out here, it wasn't meant for you. It wasn't meant to be easy for you to find a good wife, bro. It wasn't meant for it to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Right? If you value a woman and you know you want a wife, you a man of means. You should be able to make it happen. That's all I'm saying. You a millionaire. Right? So if you wanted a wife, if you wanted a good wife, and he who finds a wife finds a good thing, you will go to bumfuck Egypt. You will go to Tallahassee, Tennessee, or where to get one if that's what you really want, dog. It wasn't meant to be easy. That's all I got for you.
But
I guess that's where we disagree. I don't see why I should have to put in that kind of struggle to find something that's supposed to be meant for me for the rest of my life. That seems a little weird to me. But the last thing I'll say is this: I just hope that older guys that are married are also willing to listen, and that when we're telling you that the market isn't what you think it is, that you guys are also listen to us as well.
I agree with that.
I think you guys acknowledge that it is what it is, but I think that you guys underestimate it. I don't think you take it as seriously as we do when we try to explain to you it's not what you. Listen, I'll be happy to take any of you guys out on a Friday or Saturday night in DC and just let you see for yourself.
Yeah, and I hear you. I hear that, Trey. But I got pushback on that for you too, because at the end of the day, you choose. Right? It don't look again. You know if that's what you're looking for and that's what you're striving for. If it doesn't if the market is bad, as I said before, all you need is one, dog. Right? All you need is one. Right? And that's just the end of it. I hear what you're saying, bro. I know. Look, and I ain't trying to be bad off with nobody. I tell, Humble Dad know me, Ronan know me. I hit both sides of them. It's a bunch of trash ass men out here. It's a bunch of trash ass women, but there are good people, right? So the thing about good people is that when I say good, my opinion is that most people take it like, oh, these people are good, so you will be able to. No, you're not going to get access to good people like that because they control access to them. Right? Good means good in all things. That means I'm good to you as a person. That also means I have boundaries. I have real standards. right? And I have non-negotiables, right? So if a woman is truly good, right? If she is truly looking to be a wife, you're not going to have access to that like you have to the rest of these chicks that you can call up and say, hey, I'm going out, or you hit her on Tinder or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It don't work like that. You see what I'm saying? But I do wish you luck if you do wish to be married, especially if you know you got the basis of your life together, your financials. I think you will have a beautiful thing if you found a wife that was for you, because then y'all can build and have something going down the line. But for everybody to keep thinking in a world full of demons that finding an angel is supposed to be easy, I think that's hubris.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I just don't. There's no rush. Like if you told me I could only have one meal for the rest of my life, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but I could take as long as I wanted to figure out what that one meal would be, I'm gonna take as much time as I need to figure out what that one meal would be. At the end of the day, I don't look at marriage as a one-off. And unfortunately, in today's market, women look at marriage as there's always a way out. Yeah, they may want to get married, but they know there's a way out for them. They know there's always an out. I don't see it that way. So it's extremely difficult to marry a woman or find a woman to marry who has the same ideals and same thought process. And unfortunately, it takes some time. I'm 38 years old. I may not be able to find that woman until I'm in my mid-40s. I don't know how long this will take, but it's going to take a while because there is no rush for me. And I'm not about to rush into something that's supposed to be for the rest of my life. I will take as much time as necessary.
I think that's fair.
No, should you?
Fair.
So Trey, I got a question. When you're vasculating from married to not being married, are those the things that keep you doing that? Are they based on you, or are they based on the dating market?
They're based on me and the dates that I go on.
So it's
based on my experience.
It goes back to the women.
No, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and blame it all on the women, right? There was a point in time in my life where I was a weak dude, right? I was weak and I had a hard time speaking up and saying, which I'm sure you guys find probably hard to believe at this point, but there's a point in time where I wouldn't speak up because I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I was raised by a single mother, and the way we are raised is women, you can't do no wrong. Women are always right. That's the way you get raised. It wasn't until I got into the military that I started to realize, oh, wait a minute. These women are out of control. They are out of control. And so from that point on, I started to look at women differently. And then when you do vet a woman, and you do take the time to vet a woman, you think that you picked the right woman, and you come to find out that you didn't pick the right woman, you start to question your own abilities, right? You start to question your own vetting process. So my whole thing is at this point, I've just slowed it down. That's all I'm saying. I've just slowed it down. And I'm starting to pay attention to a lot of things that I see women do. Even, like I said, I got a date on Fridays. From the outside looking in, doesn't look too bad. Who knows where this can go? But I'm in no rush. And I truly believe in allowing a person to show you their colors. Give them some time to show you who they truly, truly are. But it's based on the experiences that I have. I would never go off of YouTube, and all this stuff is sensationalized, right? It's what they put in front of us, what they want us to see. I would never make my decisions on my life and based on what I see on YouTube and Instagram and stuff. No, I don't do that.
Okay.
All right. I appreciate that. Thanks for clarification, sir.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to go anywhere, but I want to hear what Mr. Ekene has to say.
Muted.
You're muted.
Oh, wow. That
was a lot.
It's a lot of conversation. It's a lot. Actually, this conversation didn't start today. It started last night. So SB, yeah, this started last night. This is not your show. Is a carryover.
Okay.
You feel me? It's a carryover. The thing is this. Rick is a very, very smart man, and I love this brother. He says things that inspire men. He says things that get men in their place. But for the first time, I almost disagreed with him last night. I know he may have seen my test. Yeah, Rick, one thing about life is this, right? On a space like YouTube is like it's like a square, a family square place where the elders come and sit down and have meeting and have discussions. And when you sit in that venue with the elders and you talk, there are young men that sit behind the elders and they are listening. And what comes out of our mouth as elders, right, changes the course of our village, of our town, of our community. As a man, you should care. You should care a lot. Because like I always say, the greatest my interest is the survival of the black family. What do we do to protect our women? We have to cover our women. Yes, there are bad eggs out there, very, very bad eggs. But the problem is on both sides. There are very, very damaged men. And these damaged men, which are very few, are damaging our women every day. We don't have to put that aside. But there are very, very good men out there, people like Krew, that think they don't have options, but they're looking up to you. 20 years of marriage, that's a big resume, brother. That's a big resume that you have on your chest. You should float that resume as high as you can, because if you lasted 20 years, there are people that only lasted 6 months. So you have a lot on your shoulder. The black community is on your shoulder. The black community is on your shoulder. SB, your husband, the black community is on his shoulder. It's your responsibility to show these young men out there that it's worth it to be married. It worth it, and it worth it every day. I'm a married man. There is nothing like waking up in the morning, your food is almost ready, and you have the choice of not to eat or eat because somebody has made it possible to cook that food. Just imagine when my wife is gone to California. That whole week or 2 weeks when she's gone, I'm like messed up. I'm telling you.
That's honest.
As masculine as I am, hey, I know when a woman is not around, it destroys you as a man. But Krew hasn't had that experience yet. He hasn't gotten involved with a good woman. So to him, there is no good woman. How can you tell me there is a good woman? Whereas I spent all this time, vetted somebody, and only to find a bad one. So a lot of men out there, black men, don't believe there are good women. But I got to tell you, there are a lot of good black women out there. I've come across them. There are tons and tons of them. But the problem is that they don't come out. You see, somebody was saying earlier, he said, I can't see them on this street. They're not in the street. They are in the house.
Yeah.
If you go looking for them in the street, you're not going to find them in the street. And Krew was talking about vetting a woman. Just like you vetted Tesla for 6 months. It takes 2 years to vet a woman. It takes 1 year. You vetted to be a millionaire, but you're not vetting for a lifetime possession. It's somebody that will determine the course of your destiny, of your family. Somebody that you're going to put the key to the door of your house in her palm. She is more serious than a Tesla stock. You see what I'm saying? The problem today is that most of us say that it's hard to vet. Of course it's hard, just like Ricky said. I'm agreeing with Ricky on this. It's hard to vet. You should find out where she's from. You should find out her parents. You should find out if she has mental history. You should find out if she has been a prostitute in her life. If she's just a recovering prostitute, you know what I mean? Yeah. You should find out those things. Those things are very, very important. Find out her school. Where did she go to school? Who are her friends? Because show me your friends and I will tell you who you are. Those things are very, very important. But the thing is this, I got to tell you the problem. Men don't like the women that they need to marry. They go for the women that they want to marry.
Ain't that what I said earlier?
Yeah.
Just like women always go for the men that are above them, and then they get mad. Why can't I get him? It's the same way guys go for women that are very beautiful. And the beautiful woman is the straight woman. Because I got to tell you this, my uncle is dark-skinned. One of the most handsome men I've ever seen. He wanted to marry a light-skinned woman. He went and went and went. All throughout his 20s. By the time he turned 32, he said, you know what? Every single light-skinned woman he wanted, they're not faithful. They're not qualified to be a wife. He went and married the darkest of the darkest. A woman that is beautiful in her own right as a black woman, but not light-skinned. This happened in 1994. Then in 2019, in Bakersfield, California, he was telling me this. I knew when he married his wife. I was there. I knew when he let his ex-girlfriend go because she's not qualified to be a wife. But do you know what my uncle told me? What I was looking for wasn't what I needed. This woman is what I needed. And she gave him 5 kids. 3 kids with master's degree. 4, and it's 4th one going for master's now. You see what I'm saying? She gave him the best he could ever ask God for. And he's grateful for that. We keep looking for the good thing at the wrong places.
So let me ask you this, Ekene. Do you think it was that he just wasn't socially mature enough to understand that he needed this woman, his wife, versus Candy or a light-skinned woman? You know, what made him come into? I want you to hold the answer to the question because I'm gonna read the super chats while you think about it. But what do you think made him come into the knowledge that, hey, I don't just want these light-skinned women ain't doing it for me. I need this type of woman. Don't answer that question yet, but I'll be right back. O'Shea, thank you so much for your $2 super chat. Take yourself where the ladies you want are. Okay. That was to Trey, I bet. And 67 Big Mel, thank you so much for your $19.99 super chat. You have to be able to recognize what a good woman looks like from afar and in your presence. They are hard to come by. Don't let her go. Oh, say it again.
I'ma run it every time. Give me mine. Going up, need no decline. Money line. I'ma run it every time. Give me mine. Going up, need no decline.
Dearly beloved.
All right. So, Ekene, tell us, do you think what's the answer to that question? Do you think it was just that he was not mature enough to recognize that what he actually needed versus what he wanted?
The thing is this: when you become socially mature, that's when you make more mistake, because social life creates more problem to men and women.
But we're talking about mature though. Put mature on the end of it. We're not just talking about social.
Okay. Yeah, social maturity. I gotta tell you, based on my understanding of social maturity can only make you mature socially. Being able to relate with people, being able to do things, being able to communicate, being able to seek for things, but that might not make your relationship mature, because you got to see this way, SB. Relationship maturity is what is installed in us, not by our friends and socialite. It's installed in us by our parents.
Okay. So what you're saying is not the fact that he became more socially mature, it's the fact that he became more relationship mature. He had several relationships over the years, and he did not understand the dynamics of a relationship until he got frustrated with something and then decided to.
No, he did understand, because he was culturally raised. That's why he kept searching. Because if he wasn't matured in that aspect, he would have married one before and then make the mistake. A wise man once said that this, right? A smart man is the one that makes mistakes and learn from his mistakes, right? Whereas a wise man is the one that learn from other people's making mistake. Go ahead, man.
But what he had in his mind, though, is that he was going to find that woman that he needed in a light-skinned package.
You have to compromise.
And then for me, I think that this is my thought, and you can help me out. Y'all can help me out. I think that's very socially immature, very
Is
surface.
it socially mature? Yeah,
Very
that's
surface.
yeah.
So that's
Yes.
what I mean. That's what I mean when I say socially mature.
Yeah, he wasn't socially matured in that. He was socially immature, but only to find out that, hey, I shouldn't be looking here. Let me try the other angle. And guess
Right.
what? He nailed it that one try and he got it right. And he got it right that one time. Trey, one thing that I got to say, the thing that Trey said about some people not listening to the single ones, he's right.
Mhm.
He's right. But the thing is this, not that the ones that are married are not listening to the single ones, they've been there. That's why they're not listening anymore. Because to them, well, the mistake you're making is the mistake I already made. But I'm trying to tell you now, don't stay in that mistake because there are two things that can happen. You make a mistake and you move on, you correct it and move on. Or you make a mistake and dwell in that mistake.
Right.
Washington, D.C. is not where I used to live in D.C. It's not where
Hold
you
on
go
for a
and
minute,
say, "Oh,
Ekene. Hold on 1 second though, because I think Ricky, you were getting ready to say something right at that same time where I was saying that is socially immature. What were you getting ready to say, sir? I'm sorry.
You learn a compromise.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. Go ahead,
It,
talk about it.
it's simple, like, and I understand what Ekane's saying, but I've been saying this for 3 years. I've been saying this for 3 years, right? So what we got to learn is that what you have to change your attractions. I know people hate to say that and they think it's a myth and they don't believe it, but 9 times out of 10, and this is for men and women alike, the man or woman you need is not going to be in the package that you want. They not. Right. See, we're sold this dream, you know, that's why everybody used the celebrities for the examples of relationships. Blueface and Krishan and Dwayne Wade, you know, the beautiful people, the people that's beautiful but really ugly inside. Right. The reason why you one of the reasons why you can't find a person you need is because what you want ain't in that person. I don't care what nobody says. Certain women and certain men come with certain attributes, right? Or pretty girls, most pretty girls, not all. You have the exceptions, the roundaway girls, but everyone thinks that they're eligible for the exception and not the rules, right? Most pretty girls, the girls you like that make the eye, and you see it today. All the girls look the same because that's the look that's selling.
Absolutely, they look the same. It's like,
Right. So men continue as men, that's our mistake because we continue to look for what we say we need in these women when you know these women, they don't even think for themselves because you can't even dress the way you want to dress. You got to dress like everybody else. Your face look like the girl down the street, the one around the corner, your girlfriend. Right. And then the ladies, y'all say y'all want a certain type of man, but then when y'all get a man that got his stuff together, right, y'all can't deal with him because then that means you will have to do what he say. If he a man, you're gonna have to do what a man that's about his business say. You're gonna have to cooperate, right? And this is what I'm saying. As far as the relationships, guys, I need y'all to hear me. This is 100% from my heart. This is 100%. I can't tell you how to work your relationship. Your relationship is going to have dynamics that I would never understand and don't apply to me. All I can do, I can't tell a woman how to be a woman. I can tell my woman how to be my woman. Right? I can tell my woman how to be my woman, but you got to be the man that you need to be to lead your woman to be the woman she needs to be for you. That's why I keep telling the fellas, yeah, these women is whatever, but you choose them at the end of the day. Right? If you don't call that woman, if you don't walk up to that woman, if you don't talk and ask for that woman to go out, can I buy you a drink? Can I take you to dinner? Nothing happens. Nothing. So we are responsible for what we are responsible for. And men, if you keep picking up and you going out and you dating trash women, that means you're asking trash women to go out. That's just the facts. Right? But you got to be as a man, if you own your square, if you handling your business, right? If you are what you say you are, once you see it, it's not even no discussion. It's not no discussion. Right? And the last thing I want to address is with Trey. I hear what you're saying. I want to thank you so much for your clarification, right? What I want to address is the negative mindset associated with what you're doing, right? I understand there's problems out here, but if you have a negative mindset, just like Ekene said, you would continue to dwell in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy how if you in a certain space, you could, and I'm not saying this happened to you. I'm not saying that you had a girl that slipped by. That's not what I'm suggesting. I'm saying in most cases, you will have something that's there for you, but because you look at everything surrounding this interaction negatively, it'll slip past you. Right? If you didn't have a positive outset about that Tesla stock, right? If you had a negative mindset, you know what? Wall Street just robbing people. I never put my money in no investment. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Tesla, it looked like it's a good car. It's weird. It looked like something everybody would buy, but I just can't do it because hey, you remember the crash in 85? I can't do it. Right? So I understand that men are frustrated. I understand that women are frustrated, but you got to understand, for you to get where you got to get, it's part of the journey. It's part of the journey. Is it fair? No. But whoever said life was fair, right? For you to get someone exceptional, you're going to have to move exceptionally, right? For you to get someone great, you're going to have to move as a great man and a great woman. Evaluate yourself first, which I believe you're doing and did, right? So you should understand that the work is simply attached to it. I know it's frustrating, but it simply is what it is. And it's not a positive or negative thing. It's just a journey to get where you got to get.
Very good. So guys, listen, it's been an outstanding show tonight. Ricky, those are some good last words I've learned from a wise man. I think Bolo says this. Yeah, we're going to end the show right there. There's nothing to add to that. But I do want you guys to, first of all, I'm going to say thank you for being here. Ekene, thank you so much. You're welcome at any time to come to the platform. But I want y'all to shout out your channels before you go. And in the comment section, y'all are outstanding as always. And I thank you guys for being here also. Go ahead, shout out your channels and any parting words you like to leave with us, but definitely we want to know where you all can be found. The comment section would love to know that.
Instagram at @rdubs @_rdubs, or is it _dubs? It's rdubs. It'll pop up. Like you see there on the title on my screen. YouTube channel Ricky Williams # TWT. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for listening. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but y'all here with us. We appreciate that. Hope y'all have a great night. Ekene, it was a pleasure to listen to you tonight. Humble Dad, you know what it is. Ronan.
Oh yeah.
I'll holler at you tomorrow.
Thank you, Rick.
All right, Humble Dad, go ahead and give it to us.
Man, it's been a pleasure, man. I really appreciate the opportunity to be on and talk to you all about the thing that I hold dear to my heart, which is marriage. And you can catch me on Instagram at Humble Dad Legacy, as well as on YouTube. You can just type in Humble Dad. Currently, we're talking about different things all around marriage, relationships, and family. So one of the topics that I think people need to focus on is where's your heart, and for me, my heart is with Christ, and that's where I put my faith in, and that's how I found my wife, the first and the second. So that's what it is, and hopefully you'll do the same. Until next time, we out here.
Thank you, Humble Dad. Thank you so much, Ronan. Get us out, sir.
Definitely you can find me on Rona _redacted on Instagram, and definitely strengthening my walk step by step, not just in fitness, but mentally, spiritually, and socially in many ways. So I'm preparing myself for the next step, and mainly by listening through wise word and counsel, I know I'm going to get to where I'm going to be, and just having an attentive ear and just learn how to understand that love requires courage, especially self-love. So that's it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ronan. Have a good night. All right, Ekene, I don't know if you have a channel or not, but whatever you would like to leave us with, we appreciate it.
Yeah, I do have a channel on YouTube.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But my channel is actually Ekene. That's the same name aka Igbenago channel on YouTube. But my channel, I think the first 10 videos were most about relationship, but after that is all business. I only discuss about business relationship between Africans and African. That in the future I'll be discussing African American business relationship with Africans, because I want us to create wealth in the sense that we can have a whole continent that is very wealthy.
Let's keep spinning.
Because I always say this: if blacks don't have a continent that protects their business interest, we can never be respected in this world. So we have to have a continent that protects us business-wise, just like the white people have Europe. So that's what it is. But I gotta say one thing before I leave, boss lady.
Okay.
There are people here that said, oh, there are girls that are from good families, that those good families, that those girls come from good parents' household, but they turn out not to be good girls. What I said earlier is this: you need to vet a girl to know which family she's coming from, in order for you to know her history, disease, everything, sickness, mental health, all those stuff. But if you want to marry a girl and keep her, find out who her friends are. You still have to vet her friends. You still have to know who is her friends.
What if she don't have none, Ekene? What if she's a loner?
Any bad girl has a friend. If she's from a good family.
I don't know.
From a good family.
All right, listen.
Yeah.
Listen, it's time to go. I appreciate you so much. We're going to talk about it again. You know you're welcome. All right, guys. Comment section. It's been another good one. Thank you so much for joining us on this Hump Day Wednesday. We appreciate you so much. Listen, this is our cruise season until we go back to cruise season, and hopefully we're on cruise season next week. But until Friday night, y'all have a good night. Thank you and peace.
Your pops probably want to beat my death and take a in my casket, but I got sick of fighting, bickering, fussing over nothing, cussing. Instead of watching the death of discussions that we once had, days that we once spent in the backseat of our cars, reading poets at sunset. It's funny how love can fall out the foreground, get pushed into the back of your mind. We used to twist a spliff and laugh and relax. Are you crying? And I'm trying to find the reasons, so I ask, does forever ever happen, or is it always fade to black? I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul on the road. I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul on